Hello, everyone, and welcome into the beautiful Rosedale Gym where we have a Battle of the Bronx as the Fordham Rams take on the Manhattan Jaspers in a Division I women's basketball matchup. I'm Derek Beaulieu, joined by Kurt Sippel. But before we really dive into this game, how hyped are we for a classic Bronx matchup?
Very excited, Derek, for the Battle of the Bronx. Fordham has eluded them for the last 2 seasons, yet to win one in quite some time, but we'll see what happens today.
Absolutely, Kurt. And before we really get into this game, I believe we talked to Coach Bridgette Mitchell right before this game, and we're going to take a listen to that right now. Derek Beaulieu, joined by Kurt Sippel and also Coach Bridgette Mitchell. This weekend at Seton Hall, even though they're a really big team, you still managed to out-rebound them, I believe, 49-47. And Manhattan University today is also a pretty big team. Derek Beaulieu, joined by Kurt Sippel and also Coach Bridgette Mitchell. This weekend at Seton Hall, even though they're a really big team, you still managed to out-rebound them, I believe, 49-47. And Manhattan University today is also a pretty big team. How have you planned to out-rebound even against big teams, and how are you planning to do that today as well?
Yeah, it's important that we box out. Number 22 on their team, she's an effective rebounder, averaging over 11 boards, and so we really have to do our job of taking ownership and boxing out, but then we also have to crash. All 4 of our players have to crash.
Coach, against Buffalo, you had an 11-man rotation, and against Seton Hall, you had a 9-man rotation. You talked about in the beginning of the season wanting to narrow down your rotations to like 7 or 8. Have you seen your rotations working out? Is this what it's going to look like for the rest of the season, or are you still working it out?
Still working it out. I think that it's really important to reward those that earn it, and our players have been working really hard. And there's some opponents that they can play against, and there's some that they can't. So we're just going to continue taking game by game.
Alexis Black has become a really prolific scorer over the last couple games. 42 against Seton Hall, 30 against NJIT a couple games ago. How do you plan to have her adapt, or have the team adapt? Because I believe teams are probably going to adapt to her, seeing how much she's scoring. How are you planning to adapt her and also the team around the offense?
Yeah, we just all have to continue to remember that we all are threats. Everyone on our team is capable of scoring, and they've shown and demonstrated that in previous institutions or high school. So just playing with that confidence and finding their teammate when she's hot.
Coach, your 3rd season with the Fordham Rams, yet to have won a Battle of the Bronx. What would it mean to you today if you won the Battle of the Bronx?
Yeah, I think it would be great. It would make the record 30-26. So we're looking to get it to be 30 today, and so we'll see how we perform.
Thank you so much, Coach. The Battle of the Bronx up next here on WFUV Sports. Welcome back into the Rose Hill Gym as we prepare for the Fordham Rams to take on the Manhattan Jaspers here in the Bronx. A Battle of the Bronx, as we've mentioned a couple times as we're heading right towards tip-off. But Kurt, we heard a lot of good things from Coach Bridgette Mitchell, a lot of things that obviously she wants to win today. She wants to see that Battle of the Bronx, as Fordham hasn't won it since 2022, and obviously this is her 3rd year. But a very important game today for the Fordham Rams as we see them take on the Jaspers.
I mean, Fordham dropping a game against Seton Hall, a very big opponent in the Big East. They were ranked 3rd in the Big East this season. Fordham losing in a double overtime game, 90-83. And that game was just a very emotional loss. We heard Coach B talking about that during when we were just talking to her a little bit outside of the locker room. Just a very emotional loss for this Fordham team. Their hope for a bounce back today. 3-3 on the season so far. Manhattan's 0-4. So we're about to get started. Very excited to see what happens. Fordham is expected to probably have the bounce back today and try to hopefully win this game.
Fordham obviously looking to bounce back. This is their first game back at home since they lost 2 in a row in Buffalo, and obviously the Seton Hall game we've mentioned a couple games ago where Alexis Black had her career-high 42. As we head towards tip-off, and Fordham will get it as they move left in their white, obviously, here in the Rose Hill Gym. That's Tia Morgan with the ball starting today. She's at the top of the key. She's driving. Now a pass towards the paint. Wide from Veljovic. The pass towards the paint went out of bounds.
Fordham just has to get their offense settled. That it's not a play that you'll normally see Fordham run, just passing it out to nobody. I mean, Anastasia Veljovic just needs to get it out.
Fordham was working very fast, and now their classic full court press, keeping Mule for the Jaspers on their side of the court as she is eventually able to make it to their side. Now over to Davis on the corner. She's driving into the paint, driving. A couple Fordham defenders on her. She passes back to Mule on the right side. Mule getting covered by a lot of defenders as she falls over, passing into the paint, over to the left wing. Their shot. Jaspers shot off as it almost goes out of bounds, but saved by Fordham. That's Niankin saving that. Fordham pushing forward. Driving into the paint. Emma Wilson-Saltis, her layup just off and goes out of bounds off of Fordham. Beljevic tried to save it, get the rebound, but she was unable to.
Currently loving the fast pace of play we're seeing from Fordham so far, Derek. Doing great stuff on both sides of the court. Their defense is strong. They're playing a full court press, and we're not even in the first quarter. We're not even out of the first quarter yet.
Still 0-0, 9:03 on the clock. As there's Harper for Manhattan on the right wing, getting guarded by Wilson-Saltos and Alexis Black as she takes a short two, and that's good, right at the free throw line. First score of the game is 2-0 Manhattan, 8:49 left on the clock.
Hannah Davis just stopped on a dime, lost her defender, and just put it right in the basket. Impressive play for Davis.
Beljevic at the top of the key. She's driving towards the paint. Her short two is blocked away as Manhattan gets that rebound. Manhattan now pushing. That's Mule on the right corner. She's driving into the paint right by the free throw line. Her layup is good. A nice one-handed layup to make it 4-0 Manhattan, 8:26 left. Fordham continuing to work fast. Black and Beljevic passing back and forth. Black now into Niankin. Her layup is good. She drives into the paint for Fordham for a score. 8:12 on the clock, 4-2 Manhattan. Davis battling around. Her short two missed. Fordham with the rebound. Emma Wilson-Saltos pass off Beljevic's fingers and recovered by Mule. Mule's driving on the left wing. Three is off from Manhattan, but Manhattan gets the rebound. Back over to Mule at the top of the key. Manhattan with the offensive rebound, keeping the offensive play alive. Davis now on the corner, but back to Mule on the wing. She drives. Her layup blocked. Two defenders, Wilson-Saltos and Morgan, keeping that away from the glass.
Derek, this is some fast-paced basketball that we're watching so far. This is very reminiscent of when Fordham played at Delphi earlier in the season. But right now, Manhattan playing a very poised brand of basketball, driving the paint. They're not afraid of these Fordham defenders. They're just doing what they need to do to try to get to the hoop.
Absolutely. As Davis now near the top of the key, but inside the circle. As now they're passing it around into the paint. Shot clock expires and the shot goes out but doesn't go in. But then the ball scrambles around and Manhattan recovers, but then a whistle. And it will be Fordham ball. As the shot clock expired right after the shot went up. And Manhattan, after the ball bounced around, recovered, but then I believe a foul gives Fordham the ball back.
Arger Ferris right there for Manhattan, trying to get the ball away and then just fouled it. But just an impressive play for them, not letting up.
Alexis Black to the corner. That three is offline for Morgan. As Fordham attempts to get the rebound, but it's lost. Mule gets it back for Manhattan. Harper now near the Fordham M as she's trying to drive right wing right now. She's driving into the paint. Her layup fouled on the play as three Fordham defenders scrambled onto that trying to block her. She gets fouled on the layup.
See, Derek, this is not something that you would normally see against a Fordham team that talks about defense and physicality. I think right now against Manhattan, they are getting out-physicality. They're getting outran by Manhattan so far in the beginning of this game, and Manhattan is just playing a very tough brand of basketball at the moment. Getting into the paint, driving, not really being afraid of the Fordham defenders, shooting their free throws right now. Hits the first, goes around, but that's just something that you'd not normally see from Fordham. Right now, Coach B talking to Alexis Black before, talking about just what they're doing, trying to fix it up, bringing in Udne Serto-Teta, who brought the juice and the physicality. So let's see what they do right now.
Absolutely. Harper makes both her free throws for Manhattan. 7 minutes left, 6-2 Manhattan. Hill now driving into the paint. Her layup, not good, but fouled. A lot of driving and a lot of very physical basketball. But as you said, Manhattan seems to be a lot more physical. even though Fordham is kind of diving on these plays, diving on these layups, trying to get put 2, 3, maybe even 3 defenders on him, Manhattan's still able to get the ball up and at least attempt a shot and then even get the free throws now that we've seen.
Well, Fordham's doing what they do best, and that is to get into the paint. Right now, Manhattan knows that's where they play best. I mean, against Seton Hall, they had 42 paint points. Maison Hill misses her first free throw. They had 42 paint points, and before that, against Buffalo, they had 13% from 3. They're not the best team from the three-point line this season. They need to make sure that they're getting to the spots that they like, and those spots are the mid-range and inside the paint under the basket.
The Jaspers and the Rams both playing very fast-paced basketball. As Harper now over to Davis on the corner, but now she's trying to make her way over to the key, but it's blocked away. Fordham diving on the ball, the steal from Hill as she goes for the layup, and it's good. Alexis Black and Hill teamed up for that, getting the steal, making it 6-5 Manhattan with 6:33 left on the clock. Both teams still playing fast. Davis right over to Juric for the easy lay as she was wide open in the paint.
Manhattan just breaking the Fordham press. That's exactly what they're doing right there. Passing it up and getting the ball out to get their best shot. Fordham had 4 people back in on the backcourt.
There's Sertato losing the ball a little bit, getting it back is now Manhattan tries to just steal the ball away from Hill from the pass, but now Sertato deep in the paint, covered by 3 defenders as she gets fouled on the shot. A nice pass from Hill over 3 defenders to Sertato as she towers over everyone in the paint. She's able to grab the ball, trying to put the layup, misses it, but gets fouled.
You like that play if you're Ugne, if you're Coach B. Ugne against Seton Hall played very aggressive basketball. Again, Coach B in the beginning of the game told us today that she was playing her angriest. And that's exactly what you want to see from Ugne, is her playing angry and getting into the paint. She could have finished over those 3 defenders that were all shorter than her. That's the mismatch that you want if you're Ugne Sertoteta, because you can finish over those defenders.
Absolutely. She only had 2 fouls in that Seton Hall game, which is good when you're playing angry, but you're still not fouling too much as she misses her first free throw. And Coach B said she was just tearing balls away, trying to tear balls away from Seton Hall. But she did only go 3 for 8 from the free throw line, as we see maybe some free throw struggles from Fordham, as they've missed 2 of 3 now, I believe. Or they've missed 2 of 3, yes. As Sertoteta takes her second one and makes it, making it 6-8.
Fordham as a team only shooting 67%.
6 minutes left in this quarter as Fordham continues their full court press. Both teams playing extremely fast as they get the steal there. Fordham now with the ball, playing in transition. Black over to Hill, her 3. It's good! Splash for Fordham! Fordham takes the lead 9-8 with 5:46 left with the 3 from Hill. Manhattan continuing to play fast. That's Harper. Over to Solo Sanchez. She's new in the game. And now Mule directing the offense at the top of the key. She's over on the right wing, guarded by Hill, trying to break away, but there's a call.
I'm not sure about that call, Derek. That was a little, I don't know if that was a foul or a moving screen.
Not 100% sure.
It seemed like they were calling a foul, but it's on the floor. That was a straight, I didn't see much contact there that would warrant that ball getting off the line to Manhattan in a foul call.
I'm
a little confused.
I'm going to assume it was just a moving screen, but Manhattan with the inbound. Harper over to Mule and back to Harper. Harper now at the top of the key, trying to drive away from it. She takes the long 2, and it's good. Good for Harper as she takes the long 2, taking the lead back for the Jaspers. 10-9 with 5:14 left in the quarter.
Harper lulled her defenders to sleep and got right to her spot and got a wide open shot.
Morgan now on the right wing, trying to communicate with her team as she's getting surrounded. Into the paint for Hill. She's dribbling, covered by 2 defenders. There's a call there. A little bit of contact there from Manhattan, and I think that's what the call is.
I think these teams, Derek, are going to be in the bonus quite a lot today. We're already at 3 fouls apiece on both of these teams so far. 5 minutes in the first quarter. Wondering what it's going to look like by the end of the game today. Just a very physical basketball that they're both playing. It's good stuff, though. This is exactly how Coach B wants her team to play. You could see they're not very nervous about being paced up by Manhattan, doing a very good job on defense and on offense.
The inbound to Barry as she's near the paint, but passes it off to Morgan, over to Hill on the right wing. She's trying to find someone to go to. She goes to Sertoteta in the paint. She drives. Her left-handed layup is not good. It rolls just out and goes out of bounds. It'll be Manhattan ball.
It's good to see so far Kayla Barry coming back. I mean, she hasn't played since the last 2 games. She missed the game against Buffalo. She missed the game against Seton Hall. Very good role player for Fordham. She usually has 5.8 points for Fordham. So good stuff for her. It's good to see her back on the floor. A lot more spreading the ball when Kayla Berry's out. Fordham just needs to settle themselves, I think, going into this timeout. And I think that's exactly what Coach B wants to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this game has been going super, super fast. There's been a lot of fouls. I feel like the benches are going to be very important with how many fouls we're seeing. But with this media timeout, we're going to be right back after these messages.
What's up, everyone? I'm Brendan Shorey.
And I'm Joe Henry, your 2025 New York Jets beat reporters.
Follow along with us every Sunday as we cover and analyze all things JETS.
With a new quarterback at the helm, can Aaron Glenn right the ship and cause chaos in the AFC East?
Stay updated every week with game updates and recaps from @Brendan_Shorey
and @JoeHenry_4 on X.
WFUV, your home for Jets football.
Welcome back into the Rose Hill Gym as we're in the middle of the Battle of the Bronx. We're not quite the middle. We're still in the first quarter. 4:49 left in this first quarter. 10-9 Jaspers so far as Fordham looking to try and take the lead. They had the lead for a moment from a big Hill 3, but not a lot of action from outside from beyond the arc. We've seen a lot of driving. We've seen a lot of paint action. We've seen a lot of fouls. We've seen a lot of physical and very fast basketball so far, Kurt.
I think what's going on right now is Fordham has to settle themselves. I said this before the break. I'm going to say it again. Fordham's best movement right now is trying to just settle into what they're doing. They're used to playing fast-paced ball. This is exactly what Coach B wants. They want fast break points. They want to make fast break on defenses. Playing very good. They've been coming out very poised, playing the entire time with a full court press. I mean, Fordham is not letting Manhattan get easy shots up. It's just that this Manhattan team is also used to playing fast-paced basketball, and they have gotten good experience against A-10 opponents like Rhode Island. They played Michigan. They played against the Air Force, who also hasn't been bad recently. It's just going to take a good amount for Fordham right now. Iron sharpens iron. Both of these teams have played against good opponents in their preseason, and they're going to keep doing that so far in this game. And you'll see what Fordham is going to settle in and hopefully just be able to score. Right now, 9-10 at the free throw line. Fordham has, actually, they're not at the free throw line. Manhattan will inbound the ball. Didn't remember where we left off there, Derek. But another cool announcement, Fordham winning the CWPA championship. That's their 4th in a row, I believe.
Wow.
So an exciting day on the Hill, beating George Washington 16-9. Fun update.
They're ranked 5th in the nation. They're the best Eastern team. Everyone above them is from California.
Going back to the NCAA tournament this season.
Absolutely, they'll be out there as Manhattan inbounds the ball. Fordham continuing their full court press. They got 4 defenders on the Manhattan side of the ball, but Manhattan able to get it over to Taylor for Manhattan as they're now in their offensive possession. We got Mule directing the offense as normal near the Fordham M. Back on the top of the key. Barry guarding her as she stays in the game. Nice little pass over into the paint as that layup is good, and the and one. Ferris Garcia with the nice layup and one.
Ferris Garcia, normally known as Manhattan's rebound specialist, does that very well for Manhattan. 11 rebounds she averages a year this year. But right now, able to get into the paint. She's 5'11". She doesn't look that tall on the court right now because the rest of these Manhattan players very tall, a lot over 6 feet.
Very, very tall.
Their best rebounder, as she makes her first free throw, is 5'11", and she's able to get into the paint and score and over the Fordham defenders. Impressive stuff from Manhattan starting out today.
13-9 with 4:20 left in this first quarter as Morgan directing the offense now for Fordham near the top of the key. She's driving over to the right wing. She's on the corner into the paint, right into the basket. She attempts a backwards layup, but it's blocked. But then knocked away, but Manhattan will keep the ball. That was Molderig. She's 6'4" for Manhattan as she gets the block.
It's going to be tough for Fordham today to get into the paint over these bigger defenders. But, I mean, they did it against Seton Hall. I told you before. doubling the amount of paint points that Seton Hall had against them. They were able to do it against a much taller Seton Hall team as Fordham knocks the ball out against Manhattan.
The full court press continuing to work, but we did ask Coach B before this game about rebounding. Manhattan right now with 8 rebounds, Fordham only 2. The size is definitely showing at the moment.
And Fordham's known for their rebounding. I mean, last year in the A-10, leading in offensive boards and high in the nation in both offensive and defensive boards. So this is what this team is made out of.
Mule with her offense finally gets to their side of the court. The corner, or the wing three, airballed and goes out of bounds. That was from Harper as they attempt their first 3, I believe. Or no, excuse me, not their first 3 of the game so far.
For Harper, that's a shot that you'd like to see her take from Fordham. So far in the season, she's only shooting 18% from 3. But you still you don't want to leave people wide open.
Definitely
I think you don't want to dare people to shoot because you know what happens when there's the hot hand. The shooter's going to shoot.
Manhattan not with a full crowd. Mule falls over, and Morgan makes her fall over, and she gets the layup. She drives straight into the paint. Made her defender fall and drove right in.
Tia Morgan, an impressive play. Lulling her defender to sleep, get her right down on the floor, and then driving into the paint to finish. Really good stuff for Tia Morgan.
13-11 Jaspers with 3:27 left. Mule continuing to direct her offense. Ferris Garcia now on the right wing. Pass into Molderig, 6'4". She uses her size to get over to the other wing. That was Collins. Now over, and now back to Molderig, but it's knocked away. A whistle there. Well, I believe keep it Manhattan ball. But Fordham continuing to put pressure on and trying to get steals as they have a couple so far today.
That was a foul on Ugne, I believe. Got that foul on after she was swatting the ball away. She did get the foul on her. Ugne playing good basketball so far, coming out on the bench. She played good basketball against Seton Hall too. She provides a very good presence, a very tall presence against a taller Manhattan team, and plays very aggressive on defense.
A pass for Manhattan's knocked away, but another whistle will keep it Manhattan ball, I believe.
Alexis Black foul, her first of the game. She got fouled. She fouled off Manhattan there. And now Manhattan's in the bonus, so Fordham has no free fouls left.
5 fouls for Fordham.
Oh, taking the shots right now.
Yep. As Mule was fouled by Alexis Black, and she'll take her free throws.
70% free throw shooter on the year, Mule is. It's her first. I think for Fordham so far, I think they've played good ball. I think it's just that they haven't made their shots. I think that's the biggest thing, and you haven't seen Alexis Black really get going yet. She has 0 points so far in the night. That's their biggest score. She set a record in school, 42 points last night. She hasn't gotten going yet. Where you're really seeing it right now, Maison Hill has 6 points. She's been doing what you need her to do. When Alexis Black isn't picking it up, she's picking it up. Something that you would like to see if you're Coach B, that you're not relying on one score, you're relying on a lot of different scores, especially because they're shutting down Alexis Black pretty efficiently in Manhattan. But if you're Fordham, you need to get her to the ball because she will score in bunches for you.
She does still have 3 assists on the game so far, still playing her role as conductor of this offense as she's back in this game now on the Fordham logo. As she's getting taken over by 2 defenders. There she's getting shut down, and I believe she stepped out of bounds. Fouled, excuse me.
Yeah, that was a foul on number 6, Christina Juric. I mean, that was just a strange... I mean, they were trying to push her out. They were trying to box out Alexis Black on that play. But then they don't allow her to, and Fordham's now in the bonus, so she'll be going to the line. But they try to box her out, but Alexis Black was good enough to get into their bodies because she knew what the play was going to be. Not allowing the easy turnover for Manhattan for the free points as she hits her first. Her first points of the game, Derek. Not something that you would see from last game with the 42. She is a 84% free throw shooter. She hits both of those free throws for Fordham. Another thing, Fordham's free throw percentage so far in the night, 4 of 6. They started out the game not looking so hot from the free throw line, so hitting their free throws so far now in the later stages.
But the big problem for Fordham is Manhattan is 5 for 5 as they're getting covered a lot. And there's a steal from Alexis Black. She's driving into the paint. 1 defender to beat. Her layup is good! Alexis Black with the steal and the points as she ties this game 15-15 with 2:43 left in the first.
Alexis Black just over 2 defenders. Just really great basketball from Alexis Black with a floater layup into the hoop. Really nice play.
As there's another right at us. As Niankin slaps that ball, slaps the pass away, and it came right at us. We flinched.
Cornell and Niankin just almost targeted us. Our headsets almost came off with that ball coming at us,
It's
Derek.
coming right at me. Terrified. This job is dangerous. 2:32 left in this first quarter. 15-15, we're tied. As inbound to Harper. Now on the right wing is Mule. Over to the corner. The long two is off. Rebound for Fordham. That was Edwards. Over to Black now. As she looks to facilitate her offense. They're playing quick. Hill now driving into the paint. The pass is wide to Wilson Saltos and recovered by Van Hatten.
Good play there, getting it through the legs of the two Manhattan defenders. Just could not complete the pass to Saltos.
Mule now trying to get in the paint is Juric, but back over to Mule. She has to go back. Almost swatted away by Niankin again, but not able to. Mule now driving in, and her pass goes way wide. It's going way down the court. It'll go out of bounds on the other side of the court. Mule tried to pass over to Juric, but it went way out. Not even a hand got on it. And it'll go out of bounds near the Fordham basket, and Fordham will have possession.
Fordham being very comfortable with defense like this. Manhattan, they were coming out punching and coming out running, and Fordham said, we're used to this. This is how Coach B wants to play. And you just saw right there, Manhattan might not be so used to this fast pace of play.
But Alexis Black's her inbound is immediately stolen back by Mule. She only has one defender to beat, but she takes the pass over to Harper. She drives in, or excuse me, not Harper, Taylor, as Mule takes the three, and it bounces around, but it doesn't go in. But Fordham gets the rebound, and I believe it'll go out of bounds off Fordham.
Maison Hill right there gets the ball away from the much taller Christina Juric, 6'2". Maison Hill is 5'11". Gets the ball away from her and was not able to handle it, but was able to get the ball away from her, get the rebound, trying to get the board for Fordham to not let Manhattan get a second chance. Doesn't get it, but Manhattan goes again.
Taylor now driving in, but pass over to Mule, back beyond the arc. She's on the Fordham end, but her pass back over, they're diving on it as Alexis Black and Harper, and it'll stay Manhattan ball, but a lot of good energy from this Ram team.
And Fordham's not letting Manhattan have anything easy. Alexis Black just diving on the floor, getting the ball away from them, taking the jump ball. Rather make them reset with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Fordham is confident in their defense.
A minute 24 left in this quarter, still tied at 15. The inbound pass is way out of bounds. I believe targeted for Ferris Garcia in the paint. Very quick pass, but doesn't go.
I think it's safe to say, Derek, that Fordham, even though they gave Manhattan 3 chances, I feel like they were a little bit in their head there, trying to help them, when they were defending them, not allowing Manhattan to get a lot of their passes out.
Alexis Black at the top of the key. She's driving into the paint. Mule over Mule. Her floater is good again. Alexis Black with another floater over Mule, and she gets that in. 17-15 Fordham with a minute left. Taylor now at the Fordham logo. Her pass over to Collins. Again at the top of the key, moving over to the left wing. Now back over to Mule on the right wing. Collins open in the corner, doesn't take that pass. Mule driving. She's covered by 2 defenders. Over to Collins in the wing. She drives toward the paint. Her floater, not good. And rebound Fordham. Loses the ball a little bit, but gets it back. Over to Alexis Black. She drives, tries to take the 2, but fouled on her shot.
Derek, do you remember how I said Alexis Black had 0 points? She's up to 6 already. And that was over the last, I think, 2 minutes, and Fordham's on a 6-0 run. And I believe that all those points have come from Alexis Black, that 6-0 run. She's about to add on more at the charity stripe right now. Impressive for Fordham so far. Manhattan has gone on a scoreless streak for the last 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Just Fordham scoring in bunches, getting out in front of Manhattan. So Alexis Black misses her first. The announcer jinx I just might have employed that there. I'm sorry about that. But, got to hit those free throws if you're Fordham, something that both the men's and the women's team struggle with.
She makes her second. 33 seconds left in this first quarter as the Rams are up over the Jaspers 18-15 as Fordham continues with their full court press. Only Ugne is on the Fordham side of the court right now as Manhattan, as their pass is batted away. Alexis Black saves it as it goes out of bounds over to Hill. She drives into the paint, but she's forced to pass back to Ugne. Over to Alexis Black. Surto Tete are back in this game. She's just standing in the paint, being sized up by Urich as Alexis Black communicating with her teammates, standing on the Fordham logo. The three from Morgan is not good, just off. And Manhattan gets the rebound as they're playing transition. They're driving towards. The long floater is not good as she tries to get the long floater beyond the arc to go before the shot clock expires, but not able to get it in as this quarter ends 18-15 Fordham, as we saw a lot of back and forth in this quarter.
Fordham ending on a 7-0 run to end the quarter. Those 7 points are all Alexis Black, by the way. 18-15. Fordham playing their brand of basketball, very poised in these situations where it's running back and forth, whether it's playing tough defense, Fordham poking the ball away. Already today having 4 steals on the game against this Manhattan team. Fordham playing very tough. They got to continue this kind of pace of play for the next 3 quarters. While it's going to be pretty tough because it's kind of hard to run back and forth for this amount of minutes, but Fordham is conditioned for this, and that's exactly what Coach B is going to show her team as going on to the next 3 quarters.
Absolutely, Kurt. We're going to take a little break here as we're going to send it back to the Rose Hill studio for a one-on-one update with Travis Hayden. Take it away, Travis.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Let's look at what's going on right now in the A10 with the women's basketball teams playing right now, as Rhode Island is taking it to number 16, NC State right now with a 20-18 lead at the end of the first. Vanessa Harris is leading the other Rams with 6 points as they are looking to upset the Wolfpack. The George Washington Colonials are ahead of the Morgan State Bears, 15-13 right now going into the end of the first quarter. And the Richmond Spiders are currently taking on undefeated Navy in an out-of-conference matchup. The Spiders lead 19-14 at the end of the first quarter as Richmond is trying to cement themselves as the best team in the A10. And with more ranked action in the A10, George Mason will be taking on number 9 ranked Maryland, with the game tipping off at 2:30. I've been Travis Hayden, and this has been your one-on-one scoreboard update.
Welcome back into the Rose Hill Gym, as we just got a wonderful one-on-one update from Travis covering the A10, but we're also covering a little bit of A10 action with the Fordham Rams, as they're leading the Manhattan Jaspers in the Battle of the Bronx 18-15, as we've seen very physical basketball. Fordham with 5 fouls, Manhattan with 6. We've seen very fast-paced basketball. Fordham's been continuing their full court press. Just a lot of sprinting back and forth from both of these teams, Kurt. We've just seen very, very, very fast-paced basketball.
So far, you can see Fordham very good in the fast break. Fast break points so far split 11-2. Almost all of Fordham's points so far in this game have been fast break points. And that is exactly what Coach B has talked about since the beginning of the year, is you want the fast break points, you want the points you want to run and gun the floor the entire time. You don't want your defenders to catch up with you, and that is what Fordham's doing. But one thing I want to see Fordham do better in the second quarter, is offensive rebounding.
Absolutely.
Offensive rebounding has been a brand for this Fordham team led by Coach B for the last 2 seasons. Fordham has 0 offensive boards. Right now, Manhattan has 4 offensive boards. Fordham needs to up their amount of offensive rebounds they are getting during this game, and that will help them so much more. Second chance points is so big for this Fordham team, because once you get those second chance points, you get even more momentum, because you get the second chance points, and then you come back and you full court press, and you might get the turnover and a steal away and get in more points. You could score in bunches that way and get out to a really, really big lead at that point if you could do that for Fordham.
This second quarter has now started in the Rose Hill Gym as Fordham takes possession. Black with her 3 off the rim, and Fordham again, offensive rebound. Hill with the rebound.
First one of the day.
Kurt's tracking everything. Surte Ugne moving as though over to Morgan, as she has to pass back to Alexis Black. 5 on the shot clock, not a lot of time for her. Pass over to Ugne, she's in the paint. Pass over to in the paint, as there's the layup, and it's good.
What an impressive play by Alexis Black to Ugne Soto Teta to Tia Morgan. Just really impressive play underneath bouncing the ball under the defender's legs, getting it through with 1 second left on the clock. Super impressive for the Fordham Rams there, just like they drew it up.
Niankin with the layup as she finished that effective play. As Harper with her three, it's good! Splash for Manhattan. Their first three of the game. Makes it 20-18 with 8:56 left. Serto Tater now back out. Hill, her pass over to the corner for Niankin was deflected. Fordham and Manhattan both playing fast, both playing electrically, just deflecting passes left and right.
This reminds me of when me and Tucker called the Adelphi game, the first game of the season. Fordham and Adelphi running back and forth, doing a lot of cardio. Exact same thing that we're seeing against Manhattan right now for Fordham. Doing a lot of running back and forth, getting as many shots up as possible, doing a lot of running.
Alexis Black into Serto Tater, over to Barry, into the paint, but backs off. Alexis Black back into Serto Tater. As she's driving right under the basket, pass back out to Morgan, over to Niankin. As she's now driving into the paint, as the shot clock will expire. Shot goes in, but too late.
Another turnover for Fordham. Something that they've struggled with all season is the amount of turnovers that they have. Against Seton Hall, there was a portion of the game where they were shot clock violation after shot clock violation. Not something that you normally want to see from Fordham. You got to know how much time is on the clock. You got to know that you have to just get the shot up no matter what to hit the rim, because you cannot allow Manhattan these free possessions in a 2-point game.
Harper getting covered on their side of the court right in front of us as she just throws it off Niankin, off her foot.
You could see the leadership from Ornella Niankin and Alexis Black, keeping their arms up, talking to each other about keeping their arms up and making sure that they don't foul and get the ball out and keep on the full court press on Manhattan.
Mule directing her offense. It's her pass over to Taylor. She's getting covered by Morgan. But now it's Harper. Back over to Taylor. She takes the three for the top of the key. Not good, off glass. As Niankin will get that rebound, playing tough in the paint.
Ornella Niankin just ripped that rebound right down and threw it back to Fordham.
Black's pass over to Barry on the side is taken away. There's the three from Manhattan. Off rim again. As Barry will get that rebound. That was from Harper. Her left wing doesn't go.
1 for 4 today on the game.
Niankin right into the paint. Barry, her pass right over to Serto Tater, as she gets the layup. Easy layup for Ugne there.
Ugne had 3 defenders on her, finishes on the rim over those 3 defenders. Great stuff from Ugne Soto Teta.
22-18 with 7:24 left. Manhattan driving into the paint. The layup, there's a whistle there, a foul on the layup, doesn't go. That was Ferris Garcia on that attempt.
Foul on Ornella Niankin right there. Not a foul that you want to give up. Again, 2-point game. You don't want to allow. We're not 4-point game now. My math is not great, Derek. Not a math major.
It's all right. Me neither.
You don't want to allow these free shots. You don't want to allow these free shots for Manhattan. You don't want to allow them to get right back into this game. Another thing that happened when Fordham played Seton Hall, things that Seton Hall were doing at the free throw line, the difference in free throw attempts, they had 32 points. 32 points were at the free throw line. Fordham at the free throw line had 13.
And now Manhattan is a perfect 7 for 7 from the free throw line, as now it's 22-20 Fordham with 7:17 left in the second quarter. Barry top of the key. She's trying to pass to Wilson Saltos, but it goes away, as now Manhattan steals that away, but a whistle there.
Travel. It's not the pass that you want to see. You threw it in over 2 defenders. Arms were in there. I think could have probably held out just a little bit more and try to find another person on your offense. But Fordham now having to reset, which is a good thing, get back out there and try to get their best shot.
Not a good turnover for Fordham, but luckily they get it right back as Alexis Black, her three, is good! Splash from Black as she shoots a deep three from the left wing, making it 25-20 Fordham.
Fordham has been 3 of 4 from their last 3-point shots. Those are all Alexis Black.
There's Davis now on the corner. She drives in. Her layup is good. She goes right under Fordham defenders, making it 25-22 with 6:37 left in this quarter. Team Morgan now on the right wing. Over to Black at the top of the key. Back over to Morgan. She thinks about the three but doesn't take it. Black now taking her three. Good again! Nothing but net for Black. She's hot.
I don't get it. I don't get it, Derek. I'm watching this and I don't understand it. Alexis Black, just such an impressive player. The ball in her hand, and just every time she releases it, it looks like it's going in, and it does. 4 for 5 from the field today. She's had every last field goal for Fordham. Impressive for Alexis Black. She's already up to 13 points.
Mule now over to Davis in the corner. Her pass into the paint for Ferris Garcia. She's driving. She goes for the layup. It goes off, and the Yankin gets that rebound. But as you were saying, Alexis Black in the first quarter, you said she had no points. I think you made her angry. She's playing angry.
She heard what I said, and she took it personal.
Wilson Saltos in the paint. Her layup is good. Off the glass for Fordham, making it an 8-point lead. 30-22 with 5:48 left in this quarter.
Fordham, half of their points have been in the paint, doing it more. 16 points in the paint so far in the game, finishing in the paint there for Wilson Saltos.
Taylor for Manhattan. Her pass into the very tall 22 and 44 for Manhattan. It bounces around a little bit. They get it. Mule pushes over defender. Gets the lay.
Charge. Great charge from Ronella Niankin. Right? Yes. Good charge from Ronella Niankin. Keeping her feet set. Not allowing Manhattan the basket. And this is a big swing. Fordham on a 5-0 run so far in the second quarter. Fordham doing everything right. Playing defense right. Getting the ball. Alexis Black getting hot. And also, not only Alexis Black, the rest of the team spreading out the scoring a little bit. Maison Hill 6 points. Ronella Niankin 4 points. Spreading out the scoring a little bit more. Not playing Alexis Black basketball, but Fordham team basketball.
As now Alexis Black, the left wing. She passes to the corner. Morgan thinks about the three, doesn't take it, takes the short two instead and makes it. Splash for Morgan. The long two. 32-22 Fordham.
Morgan right there doing a perfect, not taking the three because she didn't think that she could hit it, and lowering her defender to throw her off of it, and then getting the ball and shooting her mid-range and scoring it from there.
Davis, her three, bounces up and off, but the rebound for Manhattan. Ferris Garcia gets it into the paint for Collins. She's driving. Her layup off again, but she knocks it out of bounds, and it stays with Manhattan. I thought it went off Collins, but ref saying it went off Edwards for Fordham, and Manhattan will keep possession.
Manhattan so far in today's game is 1 for 8 from 3. Manhattan, in general this season, haven't been great three-point shooters. They haven't been great field goal shooters either. So to see Manhattan taking 9 threes so far today, pretty interesting that Manhattan is willing to run that. I know Fordham is very, very big and aggressive in the paint, but if you're not hitting these three-point shots, you got to do something else.
Well, it seemed like it was working in that first quarter when they were driving in and they were getting those fouls. They got in the bonus really fast. They were making those layups. And then Fordham transitions over to this more shooting. It's Alexis Black now with 13 points, 2 threes. And maybe Manhattan's trying to copy that and continue to do that. But it doesn't seem like it's working for them.
The thing is, Derek, Coach B is great at changing the scheme. And that is exactly what Fordham has done so far. Giving up those fouls and turning the ball over just a little bit too much. Fordham changed the scheme, and they were able to come back out and lead by 10 over Manhattan. This is a great thing that Fordham's doing, and shows that they're able to change it up when they need to, and that's going to help them a lot when they're in A-10 play against good competition. This Richmond team is ranked nationally, so that is going to be very difficult for a Fordham team, especially against Rhode Island, George Mason, all these teams that are very good. St. Joe's, you got to show that you're able to compete here, so you're going to compete with the big dogs.
Absolutely. We saw Manhattan actually played Rhode Island earlier this season. I believe it was their first game of the season, and they lost to Rhode Island. So this is a good test for Fordham. If they're able to beat Manhattan, maybe they're able to beat some of their A-10 competition, as this A-10 is very, very, very strong this year. As you said, Richmond is ranked. So Fordham, in these early games, maybe they're not conference play, but they're still really good tests to see where they are and where they're ranking and how they're playing and how they'll end up playing in conference play.
Listen, Derek, conference play sneaks up on you. I've been at Fordham for my last 3 years, and the basketball season moves super fast. I mean, next week we start conference play December 3rd. I believe that's next week, yes. That is next week,
a little bit more.
But next week we have, week coming up after, December 3rd, we have George Mason is the first game of A10 play. It sneaks up on you pretty fast.
It's a week and a half, Kurt.
I know. It sneaks up on you pretty fast. That A10 play will be back. They're going to start in Virginia. But got to hope that Fordham is able to just settle in. They can keep what they're doing right now. Don't give up silly fouls. Don't give up. Play your brand of basketball. That's exactly what you have to do. If you play your brand of basketball, you should be able to win this game.
Absolutely. The scheme that they have right now, giving Alexis Black the ball, I mean, when she's hot, you just have to throw her the ball. She had 30 against NJIT. She had 42 in just her last game.
You know what's really funny, Derek? That was her career high. Her career high was 30 against NJIT. And then immediately, a few games later, had 42 against Seton Hall, who is one of the best defensive teams in the Big East and one of the best offensive teams in the Big East. And the Big East features the #1 team in women's basketball, and that is UConn. So that is an impressive stat line. And now Alexis Black, after that performance, is second in the A10 and 11th in the country in scoring. She was 42nd against Seton Hall in the country in scoring, and she moved up over 30 spots to the 11th spot. Just impressive stuff, and just cannot wait to see what happens throughout the entire season with Alexis Black. And she's only a junior.
She's a junior.
So only a junior, Alexis Black. Fordham has another year to see what else she has in store.
As Manhattan with the inbound, Davis's layup isn't good as Fordham quickly moves down the court. Edwards' three off just a little bit off the rim, but Ugne gets the rebound right under the rim. Her layup isn't good. She gets her own rebound, and that one's good.
Sticking with the play, Ugne Soto Teta getting the ball, sticking with it, bouncing it off the floor one more time, and getting it back up for an easy bucket over her shorter defenders.
As Alexis Black slaps that ball away, gets the steal, her third of the day. She now has the ball on the Fordham side. Morgan now with the ball. As Fordham again with another possession. They're playing quickly and they keep getting these steals, forcing turnovers. Edwards now in the corner. She thought about three, didn't take it. Serto Teta with the behind pass, but isn't good. But then that goes off the foot of a Manhattan player. And it'll stay.
Fordham foul, and that's on Ornell and Yankin. Believe so. Yes, Ornell and Yankin just got called for the foul right there. So far on the day, that is her first. Fordham right now has 7 personal fouls. Almost everyone that has checked in the game, actually everyone that has checked in the game so far for Fordham today has had a foul. Actually, no. Everyone except for 2 players has not had a foul today.
But the good thing is everyone has 1, so no one even getting near foul trouble, even with the large amount of fouls. It's all spread out. As Davis in the corner, back over to Mule on the wing as her pass into the paint is really good. Really good pass there right into Urich as she gets the easy lay right over her defender. Edwards over to Black. Right wing for Fordham as she's driving. Got the screen from Niankin. Over to Veljovic on the left wing. Over to Serto Teta right near the free throw line. She takes the long two. It's good. Serto Teta with the long two.
Ugne saw that there was no one around her and said, "Why not? I'll shoot it with my defender's hands up. She's shorter than me anyway. I can shoot it right over her hands."
36-24 Rams as they're running away with this second quarter. 3:04 left. Davis into the paint. Another pass straight into Urich as she gets another lay.
That bucket by Manhattan ends an 11-4 Fordham run.
Veljovic started driving, but a foul.
Turnover. She traveled.
A travel.
Currently, that's Fordham's 8th turnover of the night. Not something that you want to see again. Fordham should not be turning the ball over at all against Manhattan. I understand that they're playing very tough and they're playing very hard, but you got to just not turn the ball over. That's something that very avoidable, not give Manhattan an opportunity to come back in this game.
That's Harper at the top of the key. Over to Davis in the corner. Over to Ferris Garcia. Over to the corner. Mule thought about the three, didn't take it. She drives, and then Niankin just knocks it out of bounds.
Now Niankin poking it away, giving Fordham some momentum on defense, letting them set their defense against Manhattan, not allowing them to drive into the paint.
11 seconds on the shot clock. Mule passes, tries to patch it into Urich, but it's knocked away by Serto Teta.
Fordham not allowing Manhattan to get the ball in very easily, and the last time this happened, it ended up in a turnover on Manhattan.
10 seconds now on the shot clock. Mule gets it into Davis. She's right. She takes the short two off glass, doesn't go in. Another rebound from Manhattan off glass, and it doesn't go in either. And it goes out of bounds again.
That is the fourth time we've seen Manhattan get this possession back.
Their shot clock reset back up to 20.
It's either Manhattan scores or Fordham gets the ball away.
The quarter might end here. It might just keep going. Pass goes. There's a foul now as Urich attempted right at the edge of the paint, her short two.
That is the one thing I didn't want to see. Don't want to foul. That's something that giving the free shots to Christina Urich, not something that you want for Fordham. Like, that possession was so good on defense, knocking the ball away, letting the shot clock keep going down, but now you're allowing free shots, free points, and they're only down 10. We've seen how big a 10-point game, how big of a swing that can be.
And Manhattan still perfect. Now 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Urich and Mule, the pair from Croatia, as they've had a big impact on this game so far for Manhattan.
Manhattan, an expert at recruiting from all over the world. We have Croatia, Spain, all over the place. Israel, from all over the place that they get all of their players from. And that has to do with a lot of their coaching staff, experts at recruiting from all over the nation and all over the world.
Even the faraway place of Vermont.
Yes. I was going to say New Jersey, but that's a foreign land that no one talks about.
Nope. Alexis Black now. 2:16 left on the clock, 36-28 Fordham. She has to pass over to Hill. Over to the other side of the court for Niankin. She drives a little bit. Over to Serta Taita in the paint. She loses the ball. 2 defenders on her, and she just loses her grip. That'll go out of bounds.
I don't know where the foul call was on. Why was there no foul call on that? 2 defenders, they knock her arms down. There was no foul call on the shooting motion there.
The long inbound to Niankin, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Black takes the 3. Right, just off, just a little bit to the left.
Alexis Black is human, I guess. Misses her first shot that she's taken in a while.
Collins in the right corner. Back over to Harper. 1:46 left in this quarter, 36-28 Fordham. Mule over to the corner for Collins, the left corner this time. Back over to Collins. They're playing catch over there. Mule and Collins, back and forth. Over to Harper on the right wing now. She thought about 3, 2 seconds on the shot clock. She's got to shoot it. Gets it off, but it goes way over.
Great defensive possession for Fordham. Manhattan very uncomfortable. They're talking back and forth right now. Tatiana Collins as well as Mule talking back and forth about them just passing the ball away. Look, I don't want it, you take it. That's what they kept doing, back and forth. I think they did it 4 times. That shot clock went down 20 seconds in the matter of time that they were tossing the ball back and forth. Great defensive possession for Fordham.
Morgan now over at the top of the key, loses her screen. Hill into Wilson Saltos, driving into the paint. Her layup is good. Through 2 defenders, gets the lay. 38-28.
Emma Wilson Saltos, a strong player, gets through whenever she needs to, gets to the basket however she likes to.
That's Farrah Garcia in the corner, into the paint for Collins. Her short 2, off glass, doesn't go in. Alexis Black with the rebound. She's running down the court, playing quick. She's trying to lose Collins into the paint. Her pass to Hill, into the paint. Her layup is good.
Manhattan was too focused on Alexis Black. 4 defenders on her. That Hill was just able to get the ball and put it right into an open hoop for Fordham to go up 40-28.
Hill and Emma Wilson Saltos just surrounding Mule as they force Manhattan to inbound the ball now. 18 seconds on their shot clock, but only 29 seconds left in this quarter.
You're Fordham. You like to see that they're going to inbound the ball just a little bit. They're going to inbound the ball so you can set your defense. Manhattan has struggled when Fordham has been able to set their defense. That's why Manhattan has been going a lot of fast-paced play, but they haven't been able to profit off of that fast-paced play very much.
Davis will inbound the ball. Manhattan's typical prolific scorer, 14 a game, only has 2. She's 1 for 6 from the field. She'll inbound to Ferris Garcia. Right back to Davis. She's wide open as she takes her 2. Off glass and good.
She took it personally, Derek. She heard you again.
Well, I think we're controlling this game.
It sounds like
we're puppeteers, Kurt. 40-30, 15 seconds left in this second quarter. Alexis Black just wasting time directing Hill in the paint. 10 seconds left now. Shot clock is off. Alexis Black on the Fordham F. She moves a little bit. The 3 is off. doesn't go in, and it'll go off Emma Wilson-Taltos' foot, and I believe it'll be Manhattan ball as they have 2.4 seconds to try and make something happen. 40-30 Fordham. Inbound to Harper. She hasn't grabbed it yet. She grabs it. She's driving. They let her. She takes the long three. It's good! Harper with time expiring. She banks it in.
Wow.
Her second three of the day.
Wow.
The Battle of the Bronx brings the best out of people, and Harper ends the quarter with a bang. Ends the half.
Ends the half with a bang. And that's exactly what you didn't want if you're Fordham, because that brings momentum all the way into the favor of the Manhattan Jaspers, just all the way back. Fordham had the momentum that entire quarter. Manhattan able to fight all the way back. They were down 28-40. Now they're up 33-40 going into halftime. That hype, you just saw all the players on the court jumping up and down, really excited. That kind of momentum is something that you don't want for Fordham, because Manhattan will come out with a brand new hope and a brand new poise and excitement in their next quarter.
Exactly, Kurt. Even though they're down 7, that huge three, I mean, if they were down 10, she misses that three, which 2.4 seconds, you don't exactly expect something to happen, but she makes that three. You're only down 7 now, which is not nearly as bad as 10. 10 sounds way worse. And she makes that three. They celebrate in the middle court. They're charging into the locker room right now, celebrating. They're hype.
Basketball is a game of momentum and a game of runs. And Manhattan now has the swing completely in their favor. We'll see what Fordham does. I mean, an impressive second quarter, just unable to score. I mean, they were 1 for 3 in their last 3, and 1 for 4 in their last 3-pointers that they shot. They were going on a pretty bad swing there, not being able to score at the end. But if you're Fordham, you still like what you saw. If you're coach for Jet Mitchell, you like what you saw. You just got to do the exact same things that you've been doing in quarters 1 and 2, in 3 and 4, and you should be able to come away with the win.
Absolutely, Kurt. And the big thing that we talked about after quarter 1 was rebounding. Fordham got their first offensive rebound, and they got 4 in this second quarter, and now they have 13 rebounds to Manhattan's 16. Manhattan's a very big team. We did talk to Coach B about this before, but they've been able to show that they can rebound even with the size. Manhattan is a player that's 6'4". They have 2 players that are 6'2". They have a lot of 6-footers, a lot of players that are 5'11", not a lot of short players, but they've still been able to compete. They've been able to compete in the paint. They've been able to stack defenders, and they've been able to, especially in that second quarter, was very, very, very good for Fordham, and it shows the good that Fordham can do. But Manhattan at the end of that quarter, again, that's what they needed. If you're Manhattan, if you're a Jasper and you're listening, that's what they needed to
very
end that second quarter.
Excited about that. But also, I mean, second chance points. Fordham had 4 second chance points in that quarter. Not a lot, but that also shows that those offensive boards, those 4 offensive boards, have been turned into something. So good stuff for Fordham. You just got to make sure that you figure out a way to translate this into the next half.
Absolutely, and me and Kurt, we're going to take a little break here during halftime. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill studio with Izzy Randazzo and Travis Hayden. Take it away, guys.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rose Hill Studios for our halftime report for today's women's basketball game, or as our very own Derek and Kurt put it, the Bronx Battle. I'm your studio host, Izzy Randazzo, joined by my co-host, Travis Hayden. Fordham leads 40-33 at the half, and we're seeing some great moves on the court from our Rams. But before we get started, let's hear some more one-on-one scoreboard updates from Travis. Travis, what's up?
The one-on-one scoreboard.
What is happening? The top 25 of women's college basketball is showing out as well, as number 9 Maryland is currently trailing A10 contender George Mason 24-20 with around a minute left in the fourth. Number 6 Michigan dominated Syracuse with a final score of 81-55 thanks to an 18-point, 8-rebound game from sophomore guard Olivia Olson. And number 17 Vanderbilt beat Tennessee State 99-43. Guard Michaela Blakes came up huge with 24 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. And the top 2 teams in women's basketball are playing right now, as number 1 UConn Huskies are up 30-8 in the first against Utah, and South Carolina is up 58-19 against Queens University going into the half. I'm Travis Hayden, and this has been the Women's College Basketball Scoreboard Update.
Awesome, thank you, Travis. Well, today's game is off to an electric start, evidently. Like I said, the score is 40-33, and there's definitely a lot of action so far. So if we kind of reflect on Fordham's season stats so far, they've got a 3-3 record, 3-1 at home, and 0-2 away. Fordham's averaging 68 points per game, 5.3 threes per game, 13.7 free throws per game, and a whopping 42.5 rebounds per game. We see that this Fordham team is strong, physical, and able to rebound very well. And we see that their threes have not been as consistent, with a percentage of 26% of those threes being able to actually sink. Fordham's field goal percentage is 40%, and that's pretty good for right now. We're seeing a pretty good scoring lead so far for this game. Scoring leader right now is Alexis Black. She's the star player for Fordham as of right now. She has 139 points this season, which is crazy. That's awesome. Love to see it from her. Last game, she dropped a whopping 42 points against Seton Hall. And we're also seeing that Fordham is spreading out their scoring nicely, I think.
Yeah, it started off a little rough in the beginning. It looked like Manhattan was going to come away with it really quickly. But as we've seen, Fordham just started having a scoring splurge, and especially that is thanks to Alexis Black. I mean, when you're leading your team, you have 13 points going into the half, and not only that, you have 5 assists, so you're spreading the ball around to everybody else, and then you're making the same defensive effort plays with steals. It just shows that Alexis Black is kind of putting the team on her back, and she's showing she's not only elevating her game, but she's elevating her teammates as well.
I agree fully. I think she's a playmaker. She's the role model for this team, I think. I think she's doing an incredible job. Like I said earlier, she has 139 points this season. That's incredible. She's awesome.
Yeah, with a couple games, only a couple games in, by the way, too.
Definitely. Yeah.
And it's going to be a long season ahead, but I feel like if you win the games you're supposed to win, and Alexis Black just keeps improving and getting her teammates involved. As you can also see off the bench, Mason Hill is our next leading scorer, and she's 3 for 3 right now with 8 points.
Love to see it.
Yeah,
you
see a lot of people contributing to this Fordham team, and not just the starters today. And after the kind of sluggish start, I feel like may have been a couple words said in the huddle. They call a timeout. You have to talk it over, and we're starting to see Fordham start to come away with this game.
Definitely, I agree. So we're seeing that the field goal percentage right now is 57.1 for Fordham, which is good. It's better compared to their other games, I would like to say. 3-point percentage, not so hot right now. We're shooting 3 for 10, 30%. Free throw percentage, pretty good, 62.5%. So Travis, what do you think Fordham is doing well right now? And what do we think that they're not doing so well with?
So something I actually want to take a look at is their fast break points. That's a big one. So they have 11 points off of fast breaks. If you think about it, so that's 29 without it. They would be a little bit behind. So Black steals is really helping get fast break points get on the board as well. And then you see her teammates. She's passing the ball around. She's spreading the rock. I feel like it's a complete effort by her. And it's showing up on every single thing. But when you have 11 fast break points, it means they can't stop it. It means completely. It's just gonna. It means your defense is complementing your offense in a way that is just going to be unstoppable as the game goes on.
I agree completely. I think another key aspect right now is Fordham's rebounding. Manhattan is up 16 rebounds to Fordham's 13. But Fordham is notorious for being a great rebounding team. If their threes aren't sinking, if their field goal percentage isn't super hot, one thing we can count on Fordham to do is rebound really well. A lot of their players are big. We have Ugne, who is a big. She's a great, tall, strong player who's able to get the rebounds in. And we're seeing that Fordham has 9 defensive rebounds to Manhattan's 8. We're seeing that Fordham is kind of slacking a little bit in the offensive rebound category. Manhattan has 8 to Fordham's 4. So what do you think Fordham can do to improve not only just their rebounding, but their overall game, like their threes, their field goals?
So I would say to improve their overall threes is just try and scheme people open. I would say. But what's working right now is working. Something is working against this Manhattan team today. And it could be an individual effort, but the turnovers, there's 10 turnovers for Manhattan and there's 8 turnovers for Fordham going into this half. But they only have 2 turnovers difference, but the points off of the turnovers for Manhattan is 4 and the points off the turnovers for Fordham is 16. That's almost 4 times the amount of points scored. They're scoring on 4 times as many more off of these turnovers that seem to be happening at the same time. And granted, Manhattan is also making their free throws. They are 9 for 9 on free throws today, while
They
Fordham
are.
is 5 for 8.
They
But
are.
Fordham still has this big lead. So
Mhm.
you start to think about if we limit the penalties, we limit the turnovers,
Mhm.
we play a little less emotional, and
Mhm.
maybe more. It's the Battle of the Bronx. It is a big deal.
It is 100%.
There might be a little bit of emotion bleeding into this game that wouldn't be
Definitely.
there in a normal non-conference matchup.
Mhm.
I would just say start treating it like business.
Definitely.
Don't treat it with the emotion. We heard it getting a little chirpy at the end.
Mhm.
Treat it like a business game. Go in, have your lunch, leave.
It's a great point, I think. I think keeping the emotion out of it is definitely a key aspect. You do kind of want to go into it kind of like level-headed and just play the game of basketball and not really think about, kind of the weight of this rivalry because like you said and how our play-by-play and color broadcaster said, this is the Battle of the Bronx. This is a kind of a notorious matchup. So I think that they just really they gotta keep going, keep the momentum up. They have a nice lead right now, 7 points. They're doing well, and considering the fact that they kind of had a little bit, as you put it, a sluggish start, not so hot of a start. They're playing well, I think.
They're playing well, and then if you look at it, Manhattan's like leading them in categories like free throw. It's the field goal percentage that's really keeping them down.
Mhm.
But they're leading. Usually, when you see a team leading in rebounds, they're leading in steals. They're also leading in turnovers as well.
Mhm.
But usually when you see a team like, they're this close in assists, they're leading in steals, they're leading in rebounds, you would expect Manhattan to be, and they have a perfect free throw percentage. They're 9 for 9. You would expect this Manhattan team, just looking at the stat sheet, to be up right now. But
I
they're
agree.
not. And that's going to say something to Fordham's second half, especially with how they started.
Mhm.
Just go out there, take the emotion out of it.
Mhm.
You've already had the first half of emotion. You're up by 7, and it hasn't been your best performance.
Mhm.
Just improve as the game goes on.
I agree. I think one of the biggest focal points that we need to focus on is how Fordham is able to have this lead with a size disadvantage against Manhattan because, as we've discussed, Manhattan is a taller, bigger team than Fordham. So that's a key aspect that we need to focus on. And
That explains the rebound numbers as well.
it does, definitely. But Fordham, like I said before, is notorious for being a great rebounding team. So they're doing well. I think they just need to, like you said, get over that emotion, kind of get over this disadvantage because it's a big disadvantage for their height, but they should be able to overcome it, I think.
Yeah, I think Alexis Black is gonna keep going off in the second half.
agree.
She needs to carry the team. She needs to say, "Hey, we're doing good. We could do a little bit better," because it is shocking to see the rebound differential and the lead, the score as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. I think, considering that their threes are not going in as much as we'd like to see, their points in the paint, 22, that's pretty substantial. This Fordham team, I think we can say this for both the men's team and the women's team, they are successful with points in the paint. If they're not good with their threes, they do find ways to score points. So I think that's a good thing to focus on, but getting those threes to sink is a crucial part of any game and just the game of basketball in general, I think.
Yeah, especially in recent years, we all know that the three-point has definitely taken over basketball entirely. If you think about it, you could just keep them up all day and there's less defenders there. But the issue is you got to make them.
That's true.
That's one of the biggest things about three-point shooting.
Definitely.
Is you have to make them. And so far today, neither of these teams if you want to combine all the threes today, we're combined 5 for 19.
Definitely.
Looking at Fordham and Manhattan.
Yes.
So I can only say we need to start making threes.
Definitely. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our halftime report. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Gym with Derek and Kurt, and this has been a halftime report for Fordham women's basketball.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back into the Rose Hill Gym as the Fordham Rams are leading the Manhattan Jaspers 40-33 after one half of Division I women's basketball. And Kurt, we saw a lot in that first half. We saw an electric play from Manhattan from Harper as she ended the first half with a bang as she baked in a three. And we saw Alexis Black go off for a couple threes. We saw a lot of physicality from both sides. We saw a lot of fouls, we saw a lot of driving, but at the end there we saw a little bit more shooting. How do you think Fordham's adapting to maybe this tough Manhattan defense?
Well, I want to see what they come out like in this second half, because Coach B is usually very good at lighting a fire under her players, and I want to see what she does against this Manhattan team. And what she told her players, you cannot allow this Manhattan team to have this momentum going into the second half. You have to quell that. You have to squash that momentum. And Derek, to mention this, because I wanted to, because I keep forgetting about it, this is the first time Fordham has led at a half all season. They've played 6 games. NJIT, they were down. Adelphi, they were tied. St. Peter's, they were tied. Stony Brook, they were down. Buffalo, they were down. Seton Hall, they were down. Against Manhattan, this is the first time they have ever led at a halftime. This is a game that Fordham has been in control of for majority of it. I would say in majority of the time that they've played in this game, the 20 minutes that they've played, I would say that Fordham's probably controlled 15 of it. I would give Manhattan the 5 minutes. And Fordham needs to keep controlling this game. They cannot allow Manhattan to get back into it. Got to squash the momentum they got from that 3, and you got to continue playing that tough physical basketball that has become the brand of Fordham basketball, that has become the brand of Coach Bridgette Mitchell. We will see, with the clock ticking down 57 minutes, what Fordham does and what Fordham has changed going into the second half.
Absolutely, Kurt. I'm wondering how far the momentum from that big Harper shot will take Manhattan, but I am also wondering what Coach B talked to Fordham about. I'm wondering how they're going to change, or maybe how they're going to stay the same. I'm wondering what they're going to be doing out of this half, but I'm also wondering how Fordham's going to play, since they aren't playing from down. They've had to play stress, they've had to play quick, and they've been playing quick all the time.
They've built an identity trying to play down every game.
Exactly.
And that's something that you don't lose. They didn't lose that identity by leading in a game. Let's not get that twisted. But I think what it is that Coach B is going to have to tell her players is that you have to now be able to play like you're down, but while leading. That's what you have to do if you're Coach B. Play with that mentality that, we might be down, but we're not down right now. We're leading. So play like you're down. Play like you're hungry. Play like you have to make up a 10-point deficit or you'll lose the game. Play like that, and you'll win this game by 30.
Exactly. Play like they're up 7 right now, but play like you need these points, like you're starving. Like you need these points or you're going to lose. That allows you to build enough lead to where if you start making mistakes with the turnovers, which we've seen some turnovers, you're allowed to make those mistakes because you can still come back from them if you have a big enough lead. But now Fordham continuing with the ball. Morgan over to Beaulieu, over to Black on the side. Now the layup from Wilson Saltos isn't good. She gets her own rebound. She puts up another. That bounces around. It doesn't go in. Fordham with another rebound. Beaulieu back over to Black at the Fordham logo. A lot of offensive rebounds.
Calling the chin play there.
Beaulieu over to Black. She takes the short 2. Off rim. Doesn't go in. Bounces around a little bit. Beaulieu fighting over it. And Manhattan will keep the ball. Juric, she had possession. And then Veljevic just tried to fight her for it, tried to pull it away.
So I can break down probably what chin is. They when Fordham touches their chin, that is the play that they're calling when they want fast cuts and they want them to the rim.
Veljevic gets the steal there. Her layup was contested, and then Black tries to get a layup, but it goes off the bottom of the rim or the side, the glass. But Fordham with the steal retains possession. Veljevic, I don't think she thought about 3, but she kind of put up a motion. Now she's driving. She loses the ball for a second, but keeps it. She's at the top of the key. Black gets pushed a little bit, and I think she
got fouled.
Yeah.
Got fouled. She might have played that off just a little bit.
I was going to say, I think
okay. You could do that.
Yeah.
So Fordham called chin again there. That's passing the ball out and getting a cut to the rim. That's what we talked about Coach B for in the beginning, that against Seton Hall they ran that 30 times and they only successfully got it 13 of those times. Mm-hmm. So Fordham trying to improve on that play because they run it a lot.
Morgan over to Veljevic, into Yankin at the free throw line. She backs up a little bit. Right at the 3. Now over back to Morgan. 6 seconds on the shot clock. She thinks about the short 2. Yankin takes the short 2. Off rim, doesn't go in. And it's Mule with the rebound. But then Veljevic just immediately knocks it away from Mule.
Good poke away right there for Veljevic. Not allowing Manhattan to gain the momentum, gain the run. That's not what you want. You don't want Manhattan to get the momentum, get the wind behind them so they feel like they're just running the whole court and they're able to just run through anybody that they want.
That forced Manhattan to fall back. It's now Harper fighting. as she, I think, maybe attempted a pass to Davis.
She bounced it out off of a Fordham defender is what it looked like, to me at least. She might have attempted a pass. It was a little far away from us, and we had a ref blocking us.
There was 5 players over there, too.
So it looked like just like throwing it off a player on Fordham's side.
As Davis's pass goes wild, Wilson Saltos gets it. Her contested layup is good! She gets the pass away and gets it over the head of Urich.
Emma Wilson-Saltos with the clean scoop-in lay to the basket. Just a clean play for Emma Wilson-Saltos. Great paint score.
Davis into Urich, and her layup is good. Manhattan coming back with their own 2.
Wasn't very contested. Wasn't what I like to see from Fordham. The Fordham had all their defenders on the perimeter. Manhattan was able to go into the paint and get their defenders out.
Fordham passing around. Veljevich into Niankin. She goes up for a layup. No, now she goes up for it. Doesn't make it. Emma Wilson-Saltos jumps in for the rebound. She tries to put up her own, and she doesn't get it. It gets knocked away. Manhattan gets it. Now it's Mule over to the corner. Davis into Urich with the layup. And now it's 42-37, 7:36 left in this third quarter.
Same play they ran twice. Get it to the big man in the paint that has all the defenders out onto the perimeter, no defenders on them.
Fordham doing a similar play as they just did, but instead it's Wilson-Saltos. Now over to Black. She takes her corner 3. It's good! A wing 3. Alexis Black again. 16 points on the day so far.
1-800-NEED-A-BUCKET. You call Alexis Black and she gets you one.
I like that. That was good.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Now it's Mule at the Fordham logo over to Davis on the wing. She thinks about it, but doesn't take the shot. Now it's over to Ferris Garcia. She's in the paint fighting. Her layup doesn't go, but she tries to get the rebound. She doesn't get it. Veljevich fights for it. A lot of players fighting for rebounds. Alexis Black now pushing up. Faked a pass to Morgan. Now gets it into Wilson-Saltos. Her backwards layup doesn't go. Blocked by 2 players. Kurt confused about a call. Now over Mule's deep pass into Harper. Her backwards layup doesn't go, but she gets the rebound. Her other backwards layup doesn't go either.
Both teams playing the exact same way, but Emma Wilson-Saltos, it looked like there was a little too much contact for my liking. If I was the referee, I'm probably going to call a foul on that.
Niankin driving, but she loses the ball as it'll go out of bounds off of Ferris Garcia. 6:13 left in this third quarter, 45-37 Rams.
Listen, I could be also wrong because of how physical this basketball game has been played, but just look up and down this Fordham roster right now. Every single player except Ornella Niankin has a foul so far in today's game. Just mind you that it's a little hard to believe that there wasn't a foul called on Emma Wilson-Saltos while 2 defenders were all on top of her and had her hands all over them when she was under the basket.
Niankin gets the inbound. She's near the free throw line. She drives into the paint. Her layup, not good, goes off the rim. There's a foul called there.
Now Niankin getting to the basket, getting the free throw shots. Fordham has to hit these free throw shots, Derek. They cannot allow free points to slip through their fingers, especially as these games get tight. 37-45. Fordham had a 10-point lead, but these kinds of games are decided by rebounding, and they're decided by the charity stripe.
That's what we saw in the Seton Hall game.
Yeah,
32 Seton Hall points.
Decided by the charity stripe by Seton Hall. If you're not going to rebound, they out-rebounded Seton Hall Fordham, but they didn't out-free throw shoot them, and they kept fouling them as well. 3 of their players fouled out in that game.
Niankin makes both her free throws to improve the Fordham free throw percentage. 47-37 as they regain their 10-point lead. Hill knocks the pass away a little bit from Harper to Mule, but it just goes off the tip of her fingers as she continues the full court press for Fordham. Mule now directing traffic as she's on the right wing, guarded by Hill. Hill and Veljevich surrounding her as Mule just
Fordham
unable
gets
to
the
get
ball
it
back.
Yep.
Good wrap up if you're Fordham, getting the ball away from Manhattan and getting the turnover. Perfect for Fordham.
Fordham forcing that turnover, something they've done very well in a lot of games so far this year, as Morgan gets it over Sertoteta in the paint. She's pushing back. Her layup is good. Physical game for Sertoteta as Kurt flexes.
Strong play by Ugne Soto-Teta. The fans are not seeing me, but I flex my arms for that because it was just such an impressive, strong play by Ugne. backing down her defender and putting up a backwards layup over her defender.
5:20 left in the quarter. It's now a 12-point Ram lead as that gets knocked away. Beljevic fighting for it. She falls to the floor trying to grab that ball. It'll stay with Manhattan, but good effort.
Look how hyped the entire Fordham bench got for that. Everyone getting up, everyone screaming, because you're fighting for the ball, fighting for not letting Manhattan get any free attempts, getting any free buckets. You don't want Manhattan to get anything anything for Manhattan to get it for cheap. Got to make them pay for it. So that's what Fordham's doing. Got to make them pay for it. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. This Fordham defense is going to be able to get set, and Fordham is going to hopefully try to make Manhattan work for it.
Manhattan gets the inbound. 10 seconds left on the clock. That's Soleil Sanchez, who hasn't had a lot of playing time in this game. And now it's Ferris Garcia back over to Juric. 2 seconds on the clock. She's got to do something, but she loses the ball. Beljevic gets it. That's Hill. Over to Black now as turnover for Manhattan. Black on the left wing. She's thought about three. I saw it on her face, but she doesn't take it. Her pass intercepts. Tate's lost. Juric now is Soleil Garcia got the turnover as she falls to the ground. Now it's Davis attempting a layup, but she's fouled. A lot of quick physical basketball. I keep saying it over and over, but that's what they're playing.
It's tough to follow a little bit. I mean, you're not used to the type of pace that you get, but from Fordham and Manhattan, this is kind of what they've become to be known by. Again, I bring up that Fordham and Adelphi, probably the fastest paced game I've seen by a Fordham team in my entire life as a student here. So Fordham's doing that yet again. So great job by Fordham and great job by Manhattan, not to be underdone by Fordham. Great stuff by both teams.
Absolutely, Curtis. A media timeout here with 4:44 left on the clock. 49 Fordham Rams, 37 Manhattan Jaspers. As we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back right after this.
I'm Kurt Sippel, telling you to tune into One on One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. Catch us live every Saturday on our WFUV Sports YouTube Live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and later on 90.7 WFUV from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. We break down the week's latest headlines with our collection of tri-state area beat reporters, along with interviews with your favorite athletes and media personalities. WFUV is your home to talk all things New York sports.
Welcome back into the Rose Hill Gym. And Kurt, I think I'm getting a call. 1-800-NEED-A-BUCKET.
Fordham getting those buckets. 7-0 run with 1 minute and 56 seconds. Thank you to Joe Henry for giving me that stat in the back. But that's an impressive stat line for Fordham. 7-0 run just in under 2 minutes. Fordham doing a great job at scoring the rock as well as playing good defense on this Manhattan team as well. The one thing is you got to maintain that you're not going to foul. This Manhattan team has gone scoreless in the last 3 minutes of play. You got to make sure that you maintain that so you can make sure that you get your lead even bigger. Alexis Black deserves a little bit of a break, so if you can let her sit for an extra few minutes against this Manhattan squad in the fourth quarter, if you're up by 15 or 17 points, maybe if they come back a little bit, you can check her back in, but she deserves a little bit of a break how much she's been playing with this Fordham team. Let some other people get some run in.
Absolutely, and thank you to Joe Henry and Leah Renshaw. They're producing for us today. But I believe Manhattan, out of this media timeout in a couple seconds, will have some free throws, which will, with how they're shooting them today, they're 9 for 9 or 100% from the free throw line, will likely end the scoreless run that they're on at the moment. But still, Fordham up 12, 49-47 with 4:44 left in this third quarter.
That's also how you allow, sorry for that, but that's also how you allow Manhattan to get back into this game. You're going to let them cut. If they hit those two shots, they're going to get back into this. Get it back to a 10-point lead. That's something that you don't really want if you're Fordham. 10-point lead is not something that you want because they came back from a 10-point lead. Fordham was up, and then they came all the way back after that. So if you're Fordham, not allowing these shots to go, not allowing these easy shots to go through, not allowing them to get free shots. Free at the charity stripe is not something that you want for Fordham, if you're Fordham.
It'll be Davis for the Jaspers taking the free throws. Prolific scorer for the Jaspers, only 2 for 7 today. which the last time I mentioned that, she immediately made a bucket.
Made her first.
She makes her free throw.
I'm telling you, Derek, you got to stop with the announcer jinx. I didn't do that today at all.
Kurt, we can watch the replay if you want.
No replay reviews on the FUV broadcast.
There's Manhattan's first missed free throw. They're now 10 for 11. This is 49-38 Fordham. 4:37 on the clock. Veljevic on the right wing. Over to Davis. Or not Davis, excuse me, Black. Wrong number 0. Over to Hill. Hill driving. And now it's Niankin over to Serta. It bounces around, but she gets it. Tries to put the shot up, but not enough power on it. Kurt upset.
Not enough power because she had 4 defenders on her.
Davis, good pass into Harper as she gets the easy lay. Fordham not able to fall back in time. 49-40, 4:09 left on the clock.
Not enough power on her shot because she had 4 defenders pulling down her arms there. It's just...
Serta again. A nice pass from Niankin straight into the paint, right under the basket.
Right there, getting to the basket, laying it right off the backboard. But even before that, just the referees got to call it a little more evenly if that's what's going to happen. If we're going to play physical ball, got to still play physical ball that is getting to the line just a little bit more.
Harper on the left wing directing traffic, trying to communicate with her team. Ferris Garcia over to Davis on the right wing, trying to compete with Black. She falls over, and it'll be a travel. Turnover for Manhattan. 3:33 left in this third quarter.
If you're Manhattan, not what you need at this point. That turnover just kills all momentum that you had. They were running back and forth, getting those buckets up, but now Fordham getting the ball, hopefully trying to get their lead even more, trying to advance their lead.
Alexis Black into Serta. She tries to put another shot up, but blocked. That was Juric with the good block. Over to Davis now on the right corner and trying to go straight back to Juric. She's getting blocked by Niankin. She has to fall back to Soleil Sanchez as she drives in. Her layup is good. She drives into the paint with the one-handed layup off the glass. 51-42, 3 minutes.
And now this game's in single digits. Fordham needs to maintain their play that they've been having. Got to make sure that you are comfortable right now.
Hill takes her 3 from the key. Off glass, not good. Juric with the rebound. Over to Davis.
Not the best shot if you're Hill.
Harper thought about 3, but drives into the paint instead, but loses the ball.
Not the best shot if you're Hill. I mean, you could have passed the ball out just a little bit more. Maybe try to find the best possible shot. We heard Coach B talk about that in the beginning of the game. She talked about we have to be more confident that we can get the ball out to our other players, our other teammates along the arc and along the other side. Something that Fordham really needs.
Absolutely, and Serta will leave this game, but she's quietly had a good game. 11 points for her as they've been able to get to her in the paint as there's a whistle there immediately on the inbound. Not sure what the whistle was for, but it'll be Fordham ball now as Manhattan inbounded it.
Fordham so far on today's game, 20-5 on points off of turnovers. Manhattan just allowing Fordham to have 3 shots and second chances when Manhattan just not able to get the ball up the court because they can't play cleanly.
Wilson Saltos in the paint. A lot of defenders on her and just gets the ball stripped away from her, but Fordham will keep possession. Fordham only 10 turnovers to Manhattan's 15, and then also 20-5 on points for turnovers. And then also Fordham's bench has been big, 19-2 for bench points. Thank you, Joe Henry. Kayla Berry now in this game at the top of the key over to Black. She thought about 3, faked it, but gets called for a travel. Kurt shaking his head next to me.
You can't have a travel when you're only down in single digits so far. Now it's up to 10 turnovers. This is a Fordham team that against Seton Hall, we've had over 26 turnovers in their game against Seton Hall. Of course, it went to double overtime, but 26 turnovers is inexcusable.
Mule not able to get past half court. She's surrounded by Hill and Black. Hill's trying to step it away. Really good full court press from Fordham.
See Coach B clapping on the sideline and smiling because that is something she likes to see. Last year there was something that Fordham women's basketball always talked about: wearing your seatbelt. Make sure that you're on your defender like a seatbelt that whole time, and that is exactly what Fordham just did there. Like their seatbelt, taking the ball away, making sure that they were on them the entire time during the full court press.
Alexis Black gets the inbound to Morgan, straight to Hill. Emma Wilson-Saltos in the paint, surrounded by 3 defenders. And a whistle there, turnover.
I think I agree with Emma Wilson-Saltos there that seemed like they were pushing the ball down on her just a little bit. Just not such a great call if you're the referees so far in today. And I think that it has to be now, as Manhattan turns the ball over and slams into the scorer's table. They had an opportunity to cut their lead down even more, but Fordham gets the ball back. They get a cop-out on this one.
As there will be another timeout here at the Rose Hill Gym, as you said, Kurt, Soleil Sanchez was running over here trying to get the straight pass. She hit the scores table right in front of.
It moved the whole scores table when she slammed into it. I mean, coming in with a lot of momentum, you can see how much power all of this team is playing with when that happened.
And we got a demo right next to us, and they kind of hit right into them. Hopefully they didn't get flustered there, as they're doing a little demo over there, trying to learn a little bit. But we have another timeout here for Fordham. I think we're going to stay in the gym, Kurt.
Okay.
We've got a lot to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about. I mean, you can look at right now so far, the points in the paint so far have been pretty even against Fordham, 28-26. But like we were talking about just a little bit before, we could break this down just a little bit more. 18 turnovers Manhattan has to Fordham's 11. Fordham is a team that has been struggling with turnovers pretty much all season. And something that Fordham does that we've talked about a few times in a bunch of broadcasts is every turnover Fordham has is 3 push-ups in practice the next day. So I think those push-ups have been doing a lot because Fordham is minimizing the amount of turnovers that they have so far in today's game. And now you could see how much minimizing those turnovers are and forcing turnovers on other players is, because so far in today's game, points off of turnovers, Fordham has 20 to Manhattan's 5. That is a big swing in Fordham's favor, and something that the Fordham defense has to be very proud of for Fordham, because they've been able to fluster this Manhattan defense a lot, playing their brand of basketball, which is fast-paced, playing to their man each time, and making sure that they cannot play at their pace. You either play at Fordham's pace, or you're going to be ran out of this gym, because that's exactly what Fordham's doing, is running them out of this gym because they're playing at their pace. Manhattan has been responding in the second half by going on the run that they have been going on, currently hitting their last 5, Christina Juric hitting their last 5 of 6 from the field goal. But that's just something that Fordham needs to figure out. They have to make sure that they're cutting it down. In this possession, they have to score a bucket. Go up double figures. You do not want a Manhattan to be allowed to get back into this game. Just another struggle that you don't need right now. More games come up later in the week. You want to have a little bit of a more relaxing moment, because you just went into double overtime on Thursday. And we talked about, Coach B, how emotional these players were because of how emotional it was to lose in double overtime, lose to a foul at the end of the game, and just not be able to play into it. And this Fordham team just playing up to a bigger scale in this game, and that's exactly what we've been seeing.
And another thing, the offensive rebounds are doing another check-in. After the first quarter, they had 0. After the second quarter, 4. They're now really even with Manhattan, 10-9.
9-10. And I think Fordham just needs to still grab more offensive boards. I think that is the one thing that Fordham has been very successful with. The O boards give you even more second chance points. Fordham has yet to score second chance points since the second half. That is something that you also want to see from Fordham. If the Manhattan's going to give you second chances, you have to take those second chances.
And Kayla Berry in the game, very prolific rebounder for Fordham. All 4 years spent here, as this play will resume. 1:52 on the clock, 51-42 Fordham. In the corner for Black, she takes the long 2, goes off rim. Manhattan with the rebound. It bounces lower a little bit, but they still get it. Harper now pushing down the court. Fordham really not using their full court press as much. They're backing up, allowing Manhattan to have some space. Into Juric in the paint. She turns around, her short 2, off rim, doesn't go in. It bounced on the rim.
Fordham scoreless for the last 2 minutes. They got to get a bucket here.
Alexis Black into Berry, bounced around, and she loses it. Juric recovers over to Harper. They're moving fast. Soleil takes the 3. It's good! Soleil Sanchez with the wing 3. And then immediately Wilson-Saltos into the paint. She makes the layup.
It's a good response if you're Fordham to break your scoreless streak. But now Manhattan with that 3, cutting the lead even more down into single digits. It's 53-45.
Another 3 from Manhattan off glass. That one's from Harper.
Shot you like to see Manhattan take if you're Fordham. Missing it, and now you get an opportunity.
Alexis Black with the floater off the glass. A beautiful shot. 55-45 Fordham now.
Fordham went to not scoring in 2 minutes to scoring back-to-back buckets and getting their lead back up to 11 points.
Soleil Sanchez and Ferris Garcia were playing catch a little bit as now Davis drives into the paint. She gets fouled. Her hand appears to be hurt as she's grabbing it a little bit. She seems to be okay. She got fouled on her layup attempt. 30.5 seconds left in this third quarter.
Just looking so far at, that was a Kayla Berry foul. Look at this. Look at Alexis Black's stat line tonight. 18 points. She's 3 of 6 from her three. She's hit 3 or 4 from her free throws. Talk about complete player. 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. Impressive for Alexis Black, doing a very good job. And now we're seeing Lakeshia Edwards and Easley come into the game. 2 freshmen. Easley coming in, a freshman from Philadelphia, PA. Does great stuff for Fordham. Provides the juice. I know Coach B likes to talk about that a lot. Easley provides the juice for this Fordham team. She might be short, but very mighty in her effort that she puts out. Very good defender. Her stat line might not show all the time at Buffalo, only 3 points, but the defensive effort that Easley provides is something that's very good for Fordham with 30 seconds left on the clock.
And you mentioned Easley coming in. Precious Amoshula also coming into the game. She's checking in for the first time. We're seeing a lot of new players, a lot of fresh legs, as a lot of people have played a lot of minutes. Alexis Black with 27, Niankin with 25, Morgan with 24. We've seen a lot of players with a lot of minutes. And also you mentioned Alexis Black with her slash line of 18, 3, and 6. We still have another quarter to go.
Well, Fordham's trying to get the fresh legs in because you still need a lot of people to run up and down the court, so you need to spread this ball out just a little bit more if you're Fordham, and that's what they're doing right now with bringing in Easley, bringing in Precious Omashola, and those people can provide some good scoring and some good defensive effort. Precious Omashola is someone that can provide the scoring too. I mean, if you're Fordham, this is something that you need to see from all of your players. I know we've talked about this. A10 play is coming up behind them pretty soon, and you got to win this game first before we look forward to even more games. But you got to remember that this is not a 5-man game. This is going to be 9, 10 players figuring out their rotation. So every player is going to have to play for their spots on this roster, and Coach B makes that known. So each minute for these players is a big minute for all of them. And Fordham not afraid to play their freshmen right now, easily coming in. So it's exactly what Fordham's going to have to do, is try to figure out a way to pull even more away from Manhattan, not allow them to get into that momentum with 30 seconds left into the fourth quarter.
And Easley, she's a very big part of the full court press that Fordham loves to do. She's very high energy. She'll dive on the ball. She'll play full court all the time. But then also looking over the Manhattan side, Celeste Harper we've talked about quite a bit, as she had the really big bank shot 3 to end the first half. She's got 14. I have her down as 2 points a game. She's a freshman out of New Jersey, and she hasn't been playing out. She hasn't been scoring a lot, but today she's taken hold. She leads Manhattan in points. She's 2 for 6 from 3, 5 for 11 overall, 2 free throws as well, along with 3 rebounds and 5 steals.
Harper from my hometown of Brooklyn, playing with grit. 14 points on the day so far, 5 of 11, pretty efficient too. Doing a very good job. She went to Nazareth High School in Brooklyn, especially even Urich, the same thing. Urich taking up with 12 points. She has 6.5 points, and against Air Force, she came off the bench with 6 points. So Manhattan has the ability to score from all over the court. It's not one or the other. They can have a lot of players score the ball.
Davis made both her free throws, making it 55-47. Shot clock and real clock about even, but there's a steal from Manhattan as Fordham loses the ball. Davis over to Sanchez as she's directing traffic. Collins now in the game, waving her arms. Sanchez driving into the paint. Her floater, not good off glass. A couple seconds left, but not enough. When Fordham got the ball back, about a second, not enough time to do anything, as Easley got possession to prevent a Manhattan rebound. But that'll end the third quarter, 55-47. Another really good quarter, another really good high energy, fast-paced, very physical basketball that we've seen from the other 2 quarters. Not as much scoring from either side. We didn't see as much from either side.
47-55 right now. I mean, so far in this game, it's been pretty close in the third. 15-14 in the scoring-wise for Manhattan. Fordham needs a lot bigger of a scoring half. I mean, look at the spread in this game. Fordham had 18 to Manhattan's 15 in the first, and then 22 to Manhattan's 18 in the second. Now it's a very even-paced game, and Manhattan has a chance to come right back into this game. It's not that hard for Manhattan to hit a few shots and get that momentum back that they've had this entire game. I feel like they've taken it back, Derek, and it feels like they have. Fordham has to continue with their strong defense. We'll see what happens in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. I think that big shot before halftime really helped them a lot. But before we keep talking, because we could talk here for a couple hours about this game, we're going to send it back to the Rosedale studio for a one-on-one update with Travis Hayden. Take it away, man.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Today is Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time for some NFL football updates. The Lions are currently on the verge of being upset by the New York Giants thanks to 2 touchdown passes from Jameis Winston and a receiving one. The Giants lead 20-17. The New York Jets currently trail the Baltimore Ravens by 10 points in the fourth quarter. Ravens lead 20-10. Daniel Jones and the Colts are showing that they are to be feared in the AFC as they are up 20-9 on the 3-time reigning AFC champions Kansas City Chiefs. And the Seahawks are up 30-17 on the Tennessee Titans in the fourth quarter. JSN is having an incredible game with 8 catches, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He also broke the single-season Seahawks receiving record and became the first-ever receiver to have 75-plus yards in his first 11 games. I'm Travis Hayden with the one-on-one scoreboard update. Now back to Kurt and Derek with more Fordham women's basketball.
Welcome back here to the Rose Hill Gym as we continue and go into the final quarter of the Battle of the Bronx. As the Rams and the Jaspers continue to battle it out. 55-47 is the current score. Only 10 minutes left in this game. We've seen very physical as it's the Battle of the Bronx. It's got to be physical.
Fordham wants this win. Before this, Derek, they had an 11-game win streak 2 years ago, and then Manhattan won 2. The Battle of the Bronx is an interesting one because every time that a team wins 1 or 2 or a few in a row, they win in bunches. The first one it was ever won in 1979 by Manhattan, and then Fordham won 5 in a row, and then Manhattan came back and won 10 in a row, or so. I believe it was something like that. Fordham earlier a few years ago won 11 in a row in the Battle of the Bronx. This is something that both teams care deeply about because this is a real rivalry, Fordham versus Manhattan.
Fordham with possession to start this fourth quarter as there's yanking over to Easley near the top of the key. As Easley starting this quarter, over to Hill on the side, but she loses the ball. She tries to get it back, but, Ferris Garcia just falls on it and gets that turnover. Not a good way to start the quarter if you're Fordham. Over to Harper on the left wing. Guarded by Nyankin. Moving to the top of the key near the Fordham F. She's trying to lose her, but not able to. She's now near the right wing. 12 seconds on the shot clock. A lot of movement from Manhattan. Davis into Urich, near the paint, over to the other side. Soleil Sanchez takes the 3 off the rim. Nyankin with the rebound.
Sanchez had every opportunity to hit that shot, especially with the shorter Easley on her. She just took it right over her. She just could not hit it.
Easley now moving into the paint and makes this to short 2 in the paint. Only 5'5", but she can move easy.
Aaron Easley doing a great job from Philly, PA, showing the Philly grit just right there, stepping into her 2 and providing that energy that Fordham needs going into this fourth quarter.
10-point lead now, 57-47, 9 minutes left in this game. Davis now on the left wing, guarded by Easley. Now she's driving into the paint. Her short 2, off rim. Urich with the rebound, back over to Harper as she's driving. Back over to Soleil Sanchez. She's near the key, and now it's over to Harper on the right wing, over to Soleil Sanchez on the left wing. She thought about 3, driving into the paint. Her long 2 is good. Right by the free throw line, Soleil Sanchez.
Just able to get 2 defenders back on her and then just taking the shot while Fordham was behind the line and allowing her to have space.
Nyankin short 2 off rim, and Urich 6'2", just jumping over everyone. Soleil Sanchez now kind of directing this offense. She's taken the role of conductor ever since Mule left. Davis thought about 3, but moved away. She moved into the paint. Her one-handed layup way down, but she almost went in, but she missed it. As there's a whistle there as Morgan was moving towards the Fordham side of the court.
Sanchez gets called for that foul. Fordham gets to reset their offense and make their players check back in. Ugne Sertoteta coming into this game. Veljovic coming into this game. Black still in the game. And Karen Easley still in this game. So I like the Coach B is trying out new lineups for this Fordham team, seeing what works.
And adding that combo of Precious Amoshla and Ugne Sertoteta gives Fordham a lot of size that they can put in the paint to counter Juric, who's done a lot against them. Black takes the 3 from the key, bounces in and out of the rim, and then goes out of bounds. That'll be Manhattan ball. That bounced in and out.
It bounced in and out, but I like the play that I saw. It was Karen Easley running over that. She told her, run over to the 8-10 mark, roll the 2 defenders away from you, and get a free open shot for Alexis Black.
Harper trying to dribble around Easley, went off her foot.
Easley got fouled there. Easley gets picked up for the foul. After it seemed like they were wrapped up there, is what it looked like, as Fordham goes back into the man coverage.
It'll be Davis with the inbound into Collins, right back to Davis. Alexis Black guarding her. Davis trying to move around her, forces some space, then drives into the paint, tries to move, but a whistle there as she gets fouled.
Now Manhattan has a chance to cut this to a 6-point game. Fordham has been up by a lot of points this game, but now Manhattan has a chance to cut it to 6. 2 threes and this game could be tied. If you're Fordham and your Coach B, probably need to talk things over eventually. If Fordham's not going to get a bucket and the next 2 or 3 possessions, might have to call a timeout and talk things over, just because you don't want Manhattan to really get back into this game. They're already back in it, but down by 6, that's like so easily to get back right into this game. I know Manhattan's not a great 3-point shooting team so far in the day, only shooting 25%, 3 of 12, but they can still score and they can still defend really well.
Well, regardless of their 3-point shooting, they're now 14 for 15 from the free throw line, which is another problem from Fordham. Fordham only has 7 free throws. So Manhattan with double the points from free throws, 57-51 now Manhattan as they cut the lead to 6. Juric, her pass got deflected right back at her from Davis, and Collins recovered the ball. Over to Harper on the right wing. She thought about 3, didn't take it. Now she steps back, guarded by Easley. She's at the key now. Left wing now, guarded by Easley. Easley really playing tough defense. Gets called for a foul.
She got called in a reach in there, Karen Easley. But such an impressive defensive stop by Karen Easley, just sticking with her man the entire time. I'm not sure. She's getting checked out right now of the game in place of Tia Morgan. But I'm not sure. I might have kept Karen Easley in just for a little bit longer, just because of how much she has been putting in that juice for that Fordham team and providing a great defensive output for them.
Veljovic also leaves for Fordham, replaced with Edwards. Mule also comes back in for Manhattan. She's played a lot of point guard for them as Davis takes the short 2 over defender, airballed it, and Precious Amoshla gets the rebound. Davis now moving quick. She's at the free throw line, right to Amoshla. She gets the rebound. Good pass right under the rim.
Alexis Black just power past that right to Precious Amoshla, not allowing any defender to get to the ball, and Precious Amoshla finishing at the rim. Perfect play for Fordham, bringing their lead back up to 8.
59-51 with 6:13 left. Soleil Sanchez, that's Mule. Harper with the corner 3. Airballed it, just missed it. Just a little over as Edwards and Juric collide, trying to get the rebound, and it'll go out of bounds off Juric. Fordham ball.
Harper just had a wide open 3 that she could have hit for Manhattan. Was not able to hit that shot for Manhattan. That would have been a big swing for Manhattan if they were able to hit that shot. Fordham right now, so far, the last three-point shots they've taken, 1 for 6. So you'd like to see Fordham maybe taking a little less of those and more in the paint.
Sertoteta over to Edwards. The key. Back over to Sertoteta in the paint. Over to Niankins. She's driving into the paint. Her layup is good. It bounced around and it's good.
Fordham has 12 over Manhattan in the paint points department, 38-28. Fordham getting all of their work done in the paint so far now.
Mule over to Davis in the corner. She's driving into the paint. Her tough layup doesn't quite go in. There's a couple people on the floor as Davis needs to be helped up, but Manhattan's down through two women. Black's pass over to Edwards on the corner almost goes out of bounds, but she saves it over to Serta in the paint. She's trying to get it out, but isn't able to. It's knocked away. Mule for Manhattan now in transition, moving over. She steps back to the right wing, takes some time to allow everyone to get back. 21 on the shot clock. 5:05 left in the game, 61-51 Rams. Mule over to Collins in the right corner, directing traffic, telling Jurkic to get in the paint where she's done a lot of damage. That's Ferris Garcia now at the corner of the paint. She's moving. Collins, corner, three. Not good. Very short from Collins. The shot clock's now at 3.
Another air ball for Manhattan, not allowing for even a reset of the shot clock. Fordham now gets to set their defense. Shouldn't even allow them to inbound the ball. Manhattan now calling a timeout, talking it over, trying to drop a play. Fordham doing impressive stuff so far. Points in the paint, 38-26. Going into this fourth quarter, great stuff for Fordham. And we'll see what happens as these 4 minutes and 48 seconds wind down on the clock. Fordham has to keep Manhattan at the arm's length of 10.
Exactly. And as we leave right now, the Rose Hill Gym, 61-51 Rams. And we'll be right back right after this.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chris Carino.
And I'm Joe Henry.
Tune in weekly for NFL Friday, your exclusive WFUV sports podcast for all things National Football League.
We'll be covering everything on and off the gridiron for the biggest sports league in the world. Every week on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcast.
Can the Eagles repeat?
Will the Jets or Giants finally take a leap?
What's Shadur up to?
All of that and more on NFL Friday on WFUV Sports.
Welcome back into the Rose Hill Gym. And before we get back into the Battle of the Bronx with the Rams and the Jaspers, Kurt, I have just one question for you. What is Shadur up to?
Hey, man, Shadur Sanders starting in the NFL today. I just wanted to mention that because we're talking about the NFL Friday promo. Get that wherever you get your podcast. Spotify, we're all over for Apple Podcast as well. For NFL Friday, if you ever want to listen, we'll break down all the week's games on Sundays, and we break that down on Fridays before the NFL slate. But it's funny enough, Shadur Sanders and the Las Vegas Raiders playing each other 2-8. So just an interesting game because we want to talk about Shadur Sanders quickly. But back to Fordham and back to the Rose Hill Gym. 3 seconds left on the shot clock, 4:48 left in the game. Manhattan is probably drawing up a play to get it to Moldrig, probably trying to lob it up to her for a quick layup. But if I'm Fordham, you're not going to allow her to even get off the ground with Ugne Serta guarding her. I think that is probably the biggest thing. Have 2 people on her. It doesn't matter. Don't allow Manhattan to get a shot off of here. And then run down the court and get a bucket because you need it. That's the biggest thing right now. Get the bucket for Fordham. Get this lead back up to 18. Get this lead back up to 15 at least. Just enough where it feels like it's too much for Manhattan to get back into. And it hasn't been like that all game today. We have to do that. Fordham has to do that to start the game. End the game.
Even with the leads that Fordham has had, it hasn't felt like a super huge lead that they've had. It hasn't felt like a 10-point lead or a 7-point lead with how Manhattan's been playing. But I 100% agree with you. But it also seems like Manhattan's game plan has changed as this game continues to go on. They're taking more deeper shots, trying to make those threes. But with how this team is, they're not a great shooting team. So they really haven't been able to. I've seen quite a few air balls. And they really haven't been able to make these long shots.
21% from the three-point line today. They're shooting 36% from the field. And that's just kind of what Manhattan does in their games in this season as well. Just not very great from their three-point percentage, just only 29% on the year and 32% from the field. So they're really playing at their mean. They're playing under their three-point percentage right now with 21%. They're normally shooting 29% on the year. It's good for 7th in the MAC. As well, right now for their field goal percentage, it's good for 12th in the MAC. But this is not where that Manhattan team really gets their going. Gets their going. Where they really get that is through their defense and getting those second chance points and getting those rebounds. Fordham not really allowing them to do that today. And that's what Fordham has been doing very well. 28 rebounds. They're getting out-rebounded by Manhattan right now, and that's what Manhattan's trying to do, out-rebound Fordham and try to get those second-chance points. Right now, second-chance points are even, 4-4. Still, that's what Manhattan is going to try to do, and see what play they're going to draw up right now as both teams come back onto the floor.
Fordham slowly but surely working their way up to try and tie and take the rebounding lead. But as you said, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Manhattan going to try and make something work. It seems like, in my opinion, Manhattan's tallest player on the court right now is Juric, number 6. They may try and get it to her and try and have her take a long two, as Mule will have the inbound. It goes straight over to Ferris Garcia. Not a lot of time, 1 second, and it expires before she can do anything. I don't even know if she knew.
I'm not even sure I'm not sure what that play was drawn up for Manhattan.
I don't think she knew.
Heather Vulin looks very upset on the sidelines, clapping her hands and just kind of angry and annoyed that was the play that happened. Manhattan did not burn a timeout for that to happen.
There's Serto Teta in the paint. Her layup isn't good. A lot of bouncing around. Edwards gets the rebound, tries to get it back to Morgan, but Harper gets it away. An offensive rebound, almost gets second chance there. And now it's Mule at the top of the key, right on the Fordham O. Serto Teta now perimeter defense as she's locking her own. Niankin now.
Wow.
Forces Mule into the backcourt.
Wow. I mean, this just shows you that any Fordham player can defend anywhere. Ugne Serto Teta left her man and then went up and to guard on the perimeter with helping out Niankin. Just impressive stuff for Fordham. Shows you that anyone can guard anyone on this team.
Sure was the last thing the Jaspers expected. As Serto Teta's pass under the rim for Niankin. She goes to the corner for Edwards. Edwards now into the paint. Her awkward hook shot doesn't quite go in. And then Ferris Garcia gets the rebound and falls over.
Lucretia Edwards was trying to do her best to Kareem skyhook there, but just could not get enough on it at the end.
Good attempt over 2 or 3.
It's 2 defenders, I think, which is even more of a tough bucket, but Fordham trying to not show any fear with the 10-point game with 3:49 left.
Harper into Juric in the paint. Over to Zoe Sanchez on the right wing. Her 3 is good! Splash for Sanchez! She makes it a 7-point game.
Not the type of play that you want for Fordham. You got to defend the 3-point perimeter a lot more if you're Fordham.
Serto Teta at the top. At the free throw line, over to Niankin she gets her own rebound on the layup, and she gets that one. Missed the first, but got the second. 6 second chance points now for Fordham.
Niankin getting the ball back, getting her own offensive rebound, and putting it back up over 2 defenders. Great stuff for Ranella Niankin, and that's how you win a ball game.
Zoe Sanchez, her 3 again. Bounces off the rim, the exact same play, exact same spot for Zoe Sanchez.
Sanchez is wide open. What Manhattan is doing is the same thing that Fordham does, which is lull the gravity all the way down to the court with the person with the ball, because Fordham is playing man defense, zone defense, so the zone is all shifting to the ball and leaving wide open people on the paint. If I'm Coach B, you got to figure out a way to maybe move up to man defense and play your coverages and not allow open shots.
Alexis Black, 18.7 assists on the game. And now it's Morgan over to Hill at the top of the key. Back to Black on the right wing. She's driving into the paint. Her layup, not enough on it. Off the glass and off the rim. Zoe Sanchez now moving towards the rim. She's just going all the way. And she's not able to get that layup. And then Niankin just falls on the ball. I have 2 referees signaling. One referee signaling Manhattan. One referee signaling Fordham.
It's a jump ball, so I think it's possession arrow right now. Yes, it's possession arrow to Manhattan, but Manhattan trying to get the ball fast break points, bouncing it right off of the bottom of the backboard.
Davis over to Zoe Sanchez, top of the key, guarded tightly by Morgan. Screen makes her loser. Niankin now on her. Zoe Sanchez behind her back, but she loses it. Tries to go through a defender's feet. That's Emma Wilson-Saltos with it. As Fordham gets the ball. Emma Wilson-Saltos, right before the whistle, had the ball, passed it over to Alexis Black, but the whistle stopped the play.
A little confused what was going on. A lot of players falling over each other there. Breaking that down, it's just kind of tough because a lot of the players falling over on the court getting the ball out. I mean, Manhattan was trying a backwards pass. Didn't really work, but then the jump ball comes back into Fordham's favor. Got to get a bucket here.
Morgan just now passing half court right in front of us. The screen from Niankin. Emma Wilson-Saltos now top of the key. Over to Alexis Black. Corner three. Just off. Just a little bit too much on it, but Hill gets the rebound in the other corner. And now it's Niankin. Morgan with the top of the key three. In and out. And Davis gets the rebound for Manhattan. Now it's Harper. Over to Juric. Her layup. Good. Juric moving fast. Able to get into the paint without a Fordham defender on her.
Manhattan now breaking the Fordham press and getting their offense up the court faster than Fordham's able to get their defense back.
63-56 Rams, 129 in this game. Alexis Black right at the free throw line. Over to Morgan on the right wing. She loses it a little bit but gets it back. Alexis Black top of the key, sets a screen. Over to the corner with Hill. Hill driving into the paint. Morgan top of the key, thought about three, step back. Alexis Black not able to get the three from the wing.
Manhattan's doing a very good job at making sure that Alexis Black cannot get going. Playing a lot of good defense on Alexis Black the entire time, making sure that she does not get the best looks, because if you leave Alexis Black open, she will get her buckets right now. Fordham in a scoreless, again, 2 minutes without scoring. Fordham is allowing and keeping this door wide open for Manhattan with 1 minute and 9 seconds left as they run the ball up the court.
The full court press doesn't work as Soleil Sanchez just runs down the court, guarded by Hill, but now she's guarded by Emma Wilson-Saltos and Hill. And a whistle there.
Jump ball stays in the possession of Manhattan. Manhattan now can gain there, and Karen Easley comes back, but now Manhattan can gain their offense, set it, and be able to not rush. I think that was a play that Fordham should have tried to keep a little bit to themselves.
We're under a minute here at the Rose Hill Gym. Battle of the Bronx still underway. Davis, top of the key, guarded by Alexis Black. Over to Soleil Sanchez, back to Davis. She drives towards the paint. Corner for Harper, but a whistle.
She stepped out, I believe that is.
That's what...
I think she stepped out.
Heather Vullen
yelling at her player after that happened, because that's not a mistake that you can have while this game is still on the line. Now with 41 seconds, it doesn't look like Manhattan might do the intentional foul.
Heather Vullen, the 10th year for Manhattan as their coach. As Fordham now, Emma Wilson-Saltos in the paint fighting, but a travel there on Emma Wilson-Saltos. Another turnover, but only 31 and a half seconds in this game for Manhattan to make up a 7-point deficit. A timeout now.
The game is still in the hands of Fordham, but you never know. These games have been in big swings. Fordham scored 7 points in 1 minute, and Manhattan has scored a lot of points in bunches, and that's how this game has been going. A good amount of this game has been scoring in the bunches, and if you're Fordham, you got to just make sure that you keep your defense solid, you don't foul, you don't allow free shots, and you just stay with how you've been playing all game, and you will win your first Battle of the Bronx. Coach B will win her first Battle of the Bronx as a Fordham head coach, and this Fordham team will win their first Battle of the Bronx in 2 years.
And a good thing for Fordham, well, good and bad for Fordham. They're scoreless in the last 3 minutes. But Manhattan, they're only 5 points up in the last 3 minutes.
But they've gone on a 5-point run. That swing of momentum gives Manhattan so much of a better swing forwards to with 30 seconds left. They already have 5 points pushing them forwards as they check in the ball so far in today's game.
Only 31 and a half seconds. 63-56 Rams. Over to Juric, back to Davis. They're looking to get it to Harper. 27 seconds now. Harper takes her three. Good! Splash for Harper on the right wing. 4-point game.
My point right there, Derek, just stood. 4-point game with 24 seconds left on the clock. All Manhattan has to do is get a stop, and they're right back into this game yet again. It's a 2-possession game, but that's just a score. I can't believe it. Manhattan, when they need the threes the most, they get those threes. 15 of 16, 31% from three so far, and their 3-point shots, all from Harper, 3 of 8 from today. Wow. Just wow from Harper. That's ice in your veins. That's the D-Lo pointing at your veins if you're Harper. Just an impressive shot, but Manhattan still needs to come back just a little bit more. Fordham has to have a clean inbounds and maybe a score, but you have to hold the ball. Manhattan will be intentionally fouling you, So you're going to probably try to inbound it into the backcourt to waste some time.
And again, Harper, Celeste Harper, the 5'8 guard, she's a freshman. She's doing all this as a freshman. Hasn't been getting a ton of minutes, but this game gets a lot of minutes. She has 17 on the night, pairing that with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 steals.
If you're Coach Vulan, you like what you're seeing from Harper so far in today's game, especially as a freshman. Just good stuff.
Morgan with the inbound to Black as they try to foul her, but not able to. They're trying to foul Morgan, and they get the foul on Morgan. She's a little upset about that as she thought she got the pass off to Black before she was fouled.
Looked like she was trying to get it away before she got fouled. 20 seconds left. Fordham has struggled with, they're actually not going to shoot free throws. Not in the bonus yet, so they're going to get the ball back. 1 to give.
Easley moving way into the backcourt. She's open. Deep pass to Easley, almost stolen away as Easley falls over, covered by 2 Manhattan defenders.
The jump ball stays in Fordham's possession anyway. Great stuff for Karen Easley. Just, yet again, a freshman playing these types of minutes in a high-stakes basketball game shows you the kind of trust that Coach Bridgette Mitchell has in all of her players and the freshmen. She's not afraid to play the freshmen.
16.8 seconds left in this game. Battle of the Bronx coming down to the wire. 63-59. Over to Alexis Black, way in the backcourt. She got hit in the face, I think, there.
Yeah, she did. A little scratched up there. That's not a. If you're Manhattan, if you're going to intentionally foul, you got to be more intentional with it. Can't cut up another player's face. That's pretty aggressive. Manhattan apologizing for that, but still, it's very aggressive. Not something that you really need to happen. Fordham will check the ball back in, but they've struggled with getting the inbound ball back out. They've been struggling with getting the ball inbounded cleanly.
I think it looked like Coach B kind of wanted a timeout there, but then a whistle forced her to resume play, trying to get the inbound, gets it into Alexis Black. She just starts running around the backcourt, but she gets fouled by Sole Sanchez before she can escape. 14 seconds now left in this game. Again, score is 63-59. That's only a 4-point lead for the Rams in the Rose Hill Gym.
Fordham will get the inbound yet again. Needs to inbound this cleanly. That's exactly what Manhattan wants. Manhattan wants Fordham not inbound the ball cleanly and turn the ball over.
Fordham way deep into Manhattan territory for the inbound as
another foul off the ball. And now Fordham in the bonus, so Fordham will get the ball.
And that was on Alexis Black, I believe.
Alexis Black going to the line. She's 3 of 4 for today, and now she has a chance to ice it.
She could, if she makes both of these, drop 20 here in the Rose Hill Gym, coming off a 42-point performance. So not necessarily 42, but I think you would.
I mean, Derek,
she makes her first free throw.
14 was her first game against Adelphi, and then NJIT 30, St. Peter's 20, Stony Brook 20, 13 against Buffalo, 42 against Seton Hall. So very big bounce backs.
She makes both of hers. That's now 20. Timeout, Coach B.
And that should be enough to end this game and Fordham to finally bounce back after a win. 3-3 on the season after losing 2 close games against Seton Hall and Buffalo, a 2-game losing streak. And now you have the ability to win against this Manhattan team, a good rivalry game after a very emotional game against Seton Hall. And now you have something to look ahead upon as you go against Niagara on November 26th, the day before Turkey Day, Thanksgiving on the 27th.
Wishing everyone listening to the broadcast, and also you guys in production, you guys can have a happy Thanksgiving too, I guess.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Everyone listening, happy Thanksgiving to you all. Hope everyone's able to go home. I know I surely will. I'll be heading home to South Carolina. I'll be leaving New York. So.
Leaving New York to a lot warmer of a place. New York's getting cold right now, Derek.
It's like 60.
I know, it's getting. I walked out of my house today and I was like, when did this happen?
I'm going to be in shorts and a t-shirt.
40 degrees and it feels like 30. Don't know what happened there, but
you can have fun with your windbreaker, your high winds. It feels like -10.
I'm not going to need a windbreaker, Derek. I'm going to need the whole entire puffer coat. I'm going to need that and a hat. And maybe some more layers on top of that because it's going to be cold.
Shorts and a t-shirt. I might take a dip in the pool.
Oh, great. Pool 365 days, I wish. It's an ice rink if that was what it was.
Yeah, you have fun here in New York. I'm all right. I'll be back Sunday, though. Manhattan now will inbound the ball straight to Harper. She takes an awkward three, almost makes it from the corner. And Manhattan will keep possession there as it'll go out of bounds off Niankin.
Ornella Niankin just jumping over defender to get the rebound. That was an impressive, aggressive play by Ornella Niankin. So great for Fordham.
Over to Davis, right wing. Over to Harper. Also right wing. Davis takes the three from the corner. It's good! Splash for Davis. 65-62.
Wow.
That's
Davis,
an impressive shot.
when I said call 1-800-NEED a bucket, Davis has called that line, and she's picking up to answer because that was just an impressive bucket with 1.7 left. And now Manhattan down 3 points.
3 points.
To Fordham. And this could be their first win of the game, their first win of the season. Only 0-4. They've yet to win a game. They've played some tough competition, playing Minnesota, playing Rhode Island, playing close games against Air Force as their last one. But Fordham, wow. That was such an impressive shot for the freshmen, hitting all of their shots. Senior Davis hitting an impressive shot. I have written in my notes that she hits threes. That's her biggest thing. She had 16 points against the Air Force. She has 12 points on today's game. Now Manhattan can't allow Fordham to get the bucket, can't allow Fordham to get the inbounds and try to turn them over. They have a chance to make Fordham go to their second overtime in a week.
Only 1.7 seconds to do it. So a tall task for these Jaspers. As the Rams will get the inbound back over to Morgan.
And that's game.
They won't be able to. The Battle of the Bronx ends in a tight game. 65-62 as the Fordham Rams win their first Battle of the Bronx since 2022. Coach B gets her first win of the Battle of the Bronx. She's undefeated against Manhattan. And the Jaspers fall to the Rams 65-62. Very, very close game, very physical, very fast-paced. And if you looked at the second and the third quarter, you wouldn't have expected Manhattan to come out like this and make this a close game, as they were down 7 at half and I believe 10 after 3. But they made it close, got it to 3. How do you think they were able to do that?
Well, I think that Manhattan played a very impressive game at the end of it, hitting their threes, spreading it out pretty greatly. And that's just something that Fordham was not able to defend against throughout the game. And that's something that was tough for Fordham, and they showed poise. But after this, Fordham has to not allow these games to happen. You cannot allow you cannot allow Manhattan to get back into a game that you were leading such a high level. Now it's 65-62. Fordham should have won this game probably by 11 or 12. It's not something that you like if you're Fordham. Coach B is going to talk about, but a win is a win. Another win at Rose Hill, moving up to 4-1 on the season. One they're playing at Rose Hill, and now Fordham getting another one before they have to go to Niagara away again. But Fordham, a good win, just needs a little bit more. You have to stick with it now.
Absolutely. That game is on Wednesday at 1 p.m., so make sure to tune into that as the Rams go up to 4-3 on their record. Manhattan still without a win. They're now 0-5, but I believe, unless you have anything else to say, Kurt.
I think that does it. A great win for Fordham and a great Battle of the Bronx, a very exciting Battle of the Bronx. We got to see a very good matchup. Very excited, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone listening.
Absolutely, and I just want to say a special thanks to everyone in studio helping us out producing today. Brand new Leah Renshaw and the wonderful, slightly Joe Henry. Your updates were done by the combat sports journalist himself, Travis Hayden. The Izzy Randazzo was your studio host, and also the non-Unk, Sam Giangrande, was your engineer, joined by the only Nets fan in the building currently, Kurt Sippel, with your color commentary. I have been Derek Boyer saying so long from the Rose Hill Gym, as I am going to send it back to the Rose Hill studio for a post-game show with the aforementioned Izzy Randazzo and Travis Hayden. Have a good day, everybody, and take it away, guys.
The one-on-one post-game report.
What a game, everyone. The final score of the Bronx battle was 65-62, with the Rams stampeding past the Jaspers. Fordham was able to maintain their momentum until the very end, and keeping this hot streak up for their upcoming game is going to be crucial. One more time before we get into the action of this exhilarating Bronx face-off, here's Travis Hayden with your last one-on-one scoreboard update. Travis, the floor is yours.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
It is the witching hour in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, as the Kansas City Chiefs have the ball on Indianapolis' 2-yard line, looking for a go-ahead touchdown to give them the lead with a minute left in the fourth. The Giants have sealed the victory against the Detroit Lions. And it turns out the Patriots are not as good as we thought, as the Bengals are making their way down the field, looking for another one. Shedeur Sanders is making his first start, as the Browns and Raiders are going at it to start the 4 o'clock games, and the Bears have just sealed the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Travis Hayden, and this has been the NFL Scoreboard Update. Signing off.
Well, everyone, it was an absolute nail-biter of a game. The Rams were able to overpower the Jaspers, but at the end, it was kind of looking like the Jaspers might overpower the Rams. What do you think, Travis?
Yeah, and it was a very scary ending to that game. We thought for a little while it was so. Fordham only scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, which was the lowest they had all day. Mm-hmm. You don't really want to see that whatsoever. You want the fourth to close out on a bang.
Definitely, 100%. Kind of looking at these stats, though, we see that the bench points, 23 bench points for Fordham. That is amazing, I think. I think they were really good at kind of spreading the points around. Basically, everyone who played was able to score at least some points, which is great. Talent all around on this Fordham team. It's great to see that basically everyone can make it happen on the court.
Yeah, really so. But at the end of the day, if you haven't won the Battle of the Bronx since 2022, you're going to take that win, even though you may feel like it could have been a little bit better. You want that win, and you want that win to be like, hey, we are the team in Manhattan, or we are the team in the Bronx. We are the team in Manhattan.
Definitely.
They might be named Manhattan, but it's our city.
Definitely, 100%. I feel like a really good thing to kind of come back to is, kind of the size advantage that Manhattan had over Fordham and how Fordham was able to overpower the Jaspers, I think, because you look at the Manhattan roster, there's a lot of tall girls. And Fordham, while they do have tall players, they were just outnumbered today in terms of the height difference, I think.
Yeah, so that's kind of something you're seeing. The rebound differential was very close considering the height difference. It was 37 to 31. Mm-hmm. But usually, again, when teams get the rebounds and when they dominate the free throw percentage, they tend to win the game.
Definitely. Yeah.
When you look at the stat sheet, this is a really weird game to look at.
Definitely.
Fordham's, I think their field goal percentage helped 43%. Their 3-point, they even had a worse 3-point percentage than Manhattan, which is surprising. 4 for 16 compared to 6 for 18. Mm-hmm. It's just very interesting to see all around that Fordham, no matter what, Fordham was able to get it done. They were losing in the steal side. They had 13 steals to 10 steals. Mm-hmm. They were tied in the assists, 13 assists and 13 assists. Mm-hmm. The big things they got were points off of turnovers and fast break points. And again, points in the paint, they somehow dominated, even with the height difference, 40 to 28.
I agree completely. Yeah, I was going to talk about that too. The points in the paint is really, for this team, it's crucial because, as we see, their 3-point percentage, 25%, not the greatest. So it is good that they're able to kind of put points up somehow. But like I said before, the 3 is such a crucial part of the game of basketball. So they really need to hone that, especially coming up for their next games. And as we see how they kind of almost lost the momentum this game, they almost lost to the Jaspers. And that can't happen, like Kurt said, that it shouldn't happen because this team was the better team today, but they were making little mistakes, I think.
Yeah, you can't lose to a team that has, especially with a rivalry like this. You can't when they haven't won. You can't lose. This game probably should have been a little bit further, more dominant of a win. 100%. They were probably hoping for, but you should get out of here with your head held high, especially with the size advantage. Like that could also be an issue sometimes where. Maybe the next school you might play is a little bit better, but they don't have the same size advantage as Manhattan. Yes. So it will be a little bit easier, and maybe they'll beat them by 10 or something.
Yes, exactly. If we look kind of at the Fordham players, if we look at the Manhattan players, one player who definitely stood out to me on the Fordham side was Alexis Black. None other than Alexis Black. She's been on fire this season. As we noted before, she dropped 42 points last game against Seton Hall. That's incredible. That's some Shea Gilgeous-Alexander type play, I think.
Yeah, she had a phenomenal first half. She's kind of slowed down on scoring in the second half today. Finished as the leader on the team, still with 20. Yep. But then when you look at her other numbers, she was an impact everywhere else. 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, and a block. If your scoring slows down, but it's opening up everything for everybody else, and you're still creating opportunities like that, I don't think you could hate having a 7-point second half, especially when the assist numbers are that high, when the steal numbers are that high, when you're able to get a block. it shows that you're putting in the work for the team and you're opening up everything else around you.
Definitely, yeah. She is a role player for this team. I think she's incredible. I think she's one of the stars of this team for sure.
Not only is she a role player, but she seems to be carrying the team up with her. She is the role player that gives everybody else their role.
Definitely.
But then also feeds her. As you guys said, it was 42 points in program history.
100%.
It seems like she can do a little bit of everything, and that only helps elevate a basketball team.
Yes, I agree. If we look at the Manhattan side, Celeste Harper, the freshman, as our broadcasters noted, she went off tonight. If we're going to be honest, she went off for sure. Hitting that buzzer beater, I think it was in the second half. Or I'm sorry, not the second half, the second quarter. Incredible. For a freshman at 5'8", it's great to see that. I think she's only going to get better. I feel like she was definitely the star of this Manhattan team. And Manhattan was able to dial in and kind of capitalize on Fordham's loss of momentum towards the end of that fourth quarter, I think, which is why Fordham almost lost, but thankfully they were able to hang on to the lead.
Yeah, something I'm actually going to say that was Celeste Harper was really impressive, and Kurt made the call himself. He said, good on Manhattan for trusting your freshman in a situation like this, because you did almost come back against a team like Fordham and have the win.
Yes.
If you trust your freshman, the 0-5 might be right now, but in a year or two, it might be looking a little different.
Definitely.
So something I liked seeing Manhattan put trust in a freshman. When you have a freshman being the leading scorer in the game, also 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals as well, contributing to those stat numbers. That's something very impressive to see, and that you just hope is a building block foundation. Maybe this year is a little lost, but you still have a building block foundation.
Definitely.
In her.
I agree for sure. So what do you think the positives from this afternoon's game were? We kind of talked about the negatives. We kind of talked about their 3 percentage, their rebound percentage wasn't as good as Manhattan. Still very good, but not as good as previous games. So what do you think the positives were for this game?
The positive is you found a way to win. You made it. It got a little too close at the end, but it was a comfortable distance the entire time. And then if you say, okay, if we could just play a tiny bit better, if we could play like how we played in the second, like on offense at least, I'm saying, because the defense also went up in the fourth quarter, or was a little bit better. But if we could play how we played on offense in the second, in the fourth, that is what will be fixed and should stop a late scare scenario like that from happening.
Yes.
Definitely. So the positive is that you guys you played a complete game of basketball. You were undersized and you were very close on the rebounds. The shooting percentage, the shooting percentage wasn't so bad as much as the 3-point percentage was. You dominated the fast breaks. You had a decent amount of steals. Just keep building. That's what I'm going to say. 40 points in the paint to 28 is incredible.
I agree completely. I think that, like we've talked about before, if their threes can't sink, they have to rely on points in the paint.
You're playing a taller team. If we're going to talk, that should be the biggest positive of the day for them.
I agree.
The fact that you were able to outscore a team with taller girls than you 40 to 20 by 12 points is just ridiculous.
Yes, I agree. I think really the biggest thing that Fordham needs to keep in mind going into their game on Wednesday against the Niagara University Purple Eagles is they got to minimize the turnovers. They have to lock in more with the threes, and they have to be more consistent with the rebounds. They were definitely consistent today, but having Manhattan beat them 23-20 in terms of rebounding, Fordham, I think, should be on top.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see, especially with what we've seen in the A10 today. Rhode Island got a big win over NC State. That's ranked number 16th. And George Mason was taking it to Maryland for a little while, but they ended up losing. Yeah. So we're kind of in a big era for the A10, it seems like. And I'm excited to see.
I am too. I definitely am. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's Fordham women's basketball broadcast. This broadcast was made possible thanks to our amazing staff. In the Rose Hill Gym and on the call, we had Derek Beaulieu on play-by-play and Kurt Sippel on color. Back in the studio, we had Travis Hayden on updates, Leah Renshaw as our producer behind the glass, Sam Giangrande, our engineer for today's broadcast, our awesome Joe Henry as our supervising producer, and of course, Bobby Carfedini as our sports director here at WFUV. I've been Izzy Randazzo, your studio host. Tune in on YouTube or 90.7 FM Wednesday to see Fordham women's basketball face the Niagara University Purple Eagles. This has been a WFUV sports production of A10 women's basketball.